Chapter 184. By then, many people will want to win him over. On Nanshan Hill, the wind was blowing. Wang Yao carefully took care of the herbal field. Since the spirit-gathering battle array was completed, the growth of these herbs was very gratifying, especially those licorice roots that grew very slowly in the past and almost didn't grow at all. When he was taking care of the herbal field, San Xian followed him, wagging his tail happily. San Xian, you have to take care of this place for me. Woof, woof. On the beach of Hike, the waves were rolling. She sighed softly. She couldn't do anything. Uncle He, sometimes I wonder what would happen if I were Xiaoxue. Why do you think about this? I don't know. Sometimes I think about it. She looked up at the sky. It was very blue. God gave her a noble identity, 20 years of life as a princess, and more than 3 years of living a life worse than death. What is this? Is this a fair or a joke? Miss Yu ring. A ringtone interrupted their conversation. Guasairu picked up the phone and looked at it. Her face became serious. Hello, it's me. What? No problem. I can guarantee it. Yay. She clenched her fists happily. Her face was shining brightly. Her body was slightly trembling because of excitement. What's wrong? He Qixing hurriedly asked when he saw this. He had rarely seen the eldest miss, who had always been steady, lose her composure like this. He said yes. He said yes? He said yes to going to Beijing? Yes. I'll inform the Su family right away. Guasairu picked up the phone and called Chen Buiyuan, who was still in Lianshan County. Are you sure, Miss Gua? Of course. I'll arrange it right away. You only have 3 days. Understood. I'll arrange it right away. Chen Buiyuan called Beijing. What? He said yes. Yes, but he has a request. No matter what the request is, ask him to come here immediately. There's a plane waiting in Hike. It can fly directly to Beijing. Yes. In the small village of Lianshan County, Wang Yao went down the hill before lunchtime. His parents were at home. Mom, Dad, I've decided to go to Beijing. All right. Unexpectedly, his parents nodded at the same time. Their attitudes were very positive, especially his father, Wang Fenghua. He was slightly relieved, as if he was afraid that his son would not go. Dad, you really want me to go, don't you? Wang Yao asked with a smile. Sort of. Wang Fenghua spoke his mind in front of his family. Recently, I saw with my own eyes what 4 people looked like before they died. 2 of them were from our village, and we could talk about them. Our relationship was quite good. At that time, I wanted to help, but what could I do? Wang Fenghua said. What he said seemed to have nothing to do with Wang Yao's trip to Beijing. Wang Yao just listened quietly. He already understood his father's thoughts and feelings. After seeing life and death, he couldn't bear it. I'll help if I can. All right. Wang Yao nodded with a smile. While you're in the capital, we'll help you take care of the herbal field. All right. I'll cook for you. No need. They're all here, Wang Yao said with a smile. What? Knock, knock, knock. Someone knocked on the door. You have guests. As soon as he finished speaking, someone pushed the door open and came in. It was the 2 men who came last time, Chen Buiyuan and Xia Su. I'll leave now. All right, I'll go up the hill now. Wang Fenghua stood up. Why don't you go after dinner? There's food on the hill. It's fine, Wang Fenghua said. Mr. Wang? Let's go, Wang Yao said. Thank you. The black car sped along the highway. Chen Buiyuan didn't seem to be a talkative person, and Xia Su, who was sitting beside him, was even more of a taciturn person. The 2 of them had exchanged less than 10 sentences during the 1-hour journey. The airport in Hike had not been built for long, but this time, there was a rare private jet parked there. It was said that the price was ridiculously high. TSK, did you see that? Gulfstream G550, a toy for the rich. Which boss is so rich? He's from Beijing. It took about an hour and 20 minutes to travel from Lianshan to Hai. Because the road was under repair recently, it was delayed. When they arrived at the airport, Guosairu and He Qixing were already waiting there. Dr. Wang, thank you, Guosairu said sincerely. This time, Wang Yao had indeed helped her and her family a lot by agreeing to help her. Don't make any more mistakes on what you promised me, Wang Yao said calmly. Of course. Please don't worry, Mr. Wang. My chief will also agree to what Miss Gua has promised. Let's go. After arriving at the airport, Wang Yao also saw the brand new commercial jet. A big family is indeed different. This was the first time he had taken a plane, and it was such a high-end commercial jet. It was the type of plane that several top bosses in China liked. The cost of the plane was hundreds of millions, and the interior decoration was very luxurious. Let's take a look at the ancient capitals of the past and the current cities. After taking off, the plane quickly rose. Wang Yao could see the white clouds outside through the window. Mr. Wang, this is the lunch we prepared for you, Guosairu said. The conditions are limited, so it's a little simple. Please bear with it. When we arrive in Beijing, we'll treat you to a big meal. That's pretty good, Wang Yao said with a smile. Beijing, the 1,000-year-old ancient capital, crouching tigers and coiling dragons. When the plane landed, Wang Yao could see the appearance of the majestic city from the air. It was crisscrossed, intertwined with modern and classical. Many people wanted to settle down and start a family there, but many returned disappointed. Back in the day, Wang Yao also had the idea of coming here. He had a few classmates in Beijing, but he had not contacted them for a few years. He did not know how they were doing. After the plane landed, there were already people waiting outside. They arranged a car and directly went on the road. In the secluded house in Beijing. What's going on? A well-maintained middle-aged man hurried into the big room. Xiang Rong, you have to be mentally prepared. I'm afraid Xiaoxue is going. What? She's too tired. An old man about 70 years old sighed. It was a miracle that such a girl could survive until now with such a strange disease. When the middle-aged man heard this, he was stunned and stood there in a daze. Tired? I'm tired too. Where did the brilliance come from? It feels so warm. What is that place? Heaven? Or is it another world? Goodbye, Grandpa, Dad, Mom. I'm too tired. I can't hold on any more. If there is a next life, I hope I can be your daughter again, healthy and healthy. Beep, beep, beep. The equipment at the side made a rapid sound. Xiaoxue, Xiaoxue. The middle-aged man anxiously called his daughter's name, hoping to save her life. Everyone who heard the sound rushed in from outside. I'm sorry, old chief. The old man did not speak, but tears flowed down. He still could not save her. They're here. A man in his 40s rushed in from outside. In the end, he saw the scene that worried him the most. Xiaoxue. Wang Yao rushed in and saw a room full of people. They were crying and shouting. He also saw the patient lying on the bed. Her body was wrapped in gauze. The equipment next to her was still ringing. It seemed that he was a step late. She had already passed away. He hurried to the window. The two mixed smells stimulated his sense of smell. There was a faint fragrance and an unconcealable stench. It was like the smell of rotten meat. He reached out to check the pulse. The old man who was diagnosing the patient suddenly let out a soft sigh. Who is this young man? This person is not dead yet. Wang Yao whispered. What? The person who heard his voice was the first to stop crying. She stared at him with wide eyes. I said she is not dead yet, Wang Yao said calmly. With one sentence, the crying in the room immediately stopped. I need a quiet environment. There can't be more than 3 people here at most. As he said this, Wang Yao had taken out a white porcelain bottle from his pocket. It contained the prolongation pill. In an instant, there were only 3 people left. The patient's parents and the old man. Wang Yao poured out a pill. It was not big and exuded a unique medicinal fragrance. The fragrance did not seem to be strong, but it immediately suppressed the delicate fragrance and the stench at the same time. He gave the pill to the patient and swallowed it. He waited quietly for the result. Beat, beat, beat. The equipment rang again. The patient's heart started to beat again. How is this possible? The old man's eyes widened. He rushed to the bedside and reached out to check her pulse. After a while, he stood up and stared straight at Wang Yao. "Young man, what did you give her?" "A pill," Wang Yao said calmly. "I know it's a pill. What is it?" "I'm sorry." Wang Yao smiled. "I'm sorry. I was rude," the old man who came back to his senses said. Wang Yao's pill had almost reversed life and death, but his heart was far from as calm as it looked. "Fortunately, I came in time. If I had come a little later, even a magical pill like the prolongation pill would not have been able to save the patient." The patient was temporarily saved. The patient's family was very happy. The patient's mother even cried. As the savior, Wang Yao naturally received a lot of gratitude. "You can thank me later. Let me take a look at her." He was still checking the patient's pulse, but this time it took a long time. Because he was in a hurry to save the patient, he did not diagnose carefully. "This is..." Wang Yao frowned. He had never seen such a pulse. He looked at the patient in front of him. The patient was like a rotten tree. From the inside to the outside there was no vitality to speak of. The skin outside was festering, the internal organs were deteriorating, and the meridians were in disorder. She was a living dead. Chapter 185. This patient's disease was the most serious and difficult to treat among all the diseases he had ever seen. With his current ability, he had almost no confidence at all. To treat this disease was close to rejuvenation of a withered tree, bringing back bones and reviving the dead. It was difficult, difficult, difficult. It was as difficult as going to the blue sky on the road of Shu. "Doctor, how is my daughter?" the middle-aged woman on the side asked softly. A single pill was able to save the life of a dying person. This was more than just miraculous. They had already lost hope, but the sudden arrival of this young man brought them hope again. It was like a drowning person grasping a life-saving straw. How happy would a person be to see hope in desperation? People who had never experienced it would never understand that kind of feeling. "The disease is incurable." These 4 simple words were like 1,000 pounds, smashing into their hearts, almost shattering the little bit of hope that had just been ignited in them. "Young friend, do you have a way?" the hale and hearty old man in his 70s asked. "I don't know." Wang Yao shook his head. This answer surprised the old man a little. "What kind of answer is this? If you have, then you have. If you don't, then you don't. What does this mean?" "I need to think about it carefully," Wang Yao said. "Okay. Can I see her wound?" "Of course." The gauze was gently removed, and the skin underneath was revealed. This could no longer be called skin. It was festering, oozing pus, flesh and blood and bones were exposed. Scars crisscrossed, like the earth after a flood, like a forest after a raging fire. It was a ghastly sight. Such a wound. Wang Yao didn't even think about it. He looked up at the patient who was still in a coma in front of him. How much pain must she endure for such a disease? Living like this was a kind of torture. It was a miracle that she could live until now. He sincerely admired her strength and perseverance. Not to mention a woman, even an unyielding man might not be able to endure the pain of festering all over the body. After seeing the sore, Wang Yao didn't say anything. He had learned about the patient's condition from the medical records brought by Guosairu, but after seeing it with his own eyes and diagnosing it himself, he realized the difficulties. It was an absolutely difficult disease, and could even be called a terminal disease. "I'll go out first," Wang Yao stood up and said. He had temporarily saved the patient's life and understood the patient's condition. He had not thought of a treatment method for the time being, so there was no point in continuing to stay here. AI. The patient's parents hurriedly asked him to leave. The old man in his 70s stayed behind and sat in front of the bed. He stretched out his hand and continued to feel the pulse of the woman lying on the bed. His expression was particularly focused. Dr. Wang, what's next? I'll find a quiet place to stay first, Wang Yao said calmly. We've already arranged a place for you. Please come with me, said Chen Buiyuan, who was waiting outside. The car was waiting at the door. The patient's parents and family members walked him all the way to the door. The car only drove for a few miles before stopping. This is... Wang Yao looked at the quiet courtyard in front of him for a while. This was Jing City, where every inch of land was worth an inch of gold. How much would such a quiet courtyard cost? What do you think of this place? Do I live here alone? Yes. At this time, Chen Buiyuan's attitude towards Wang Yao was faintly respectful. He had just learned that this young man had successfully saved the young lady's life. Now, he was the savior of the Su family and the most distinguished guest. His ability was even better than Chen Buiyuan's. Such a person's existence was as rare as a phoenix's feather and unicorn's horn. He must be careful and treat Wang Yao well. Extravagant. Wang Yao sighed softly. Rich people are indeed different. This way, please. He pushed the door open and entered the courtyard. The small courtyard was planted with trees and flowers. It was an antique style of the Ming and Qing dynasties. Hello, Uncle Chen. A very beautiful girl heard the sound and walked out. Hello, Xiaoying. This is Mr. Wang, a distinguished guest. He will be staying here for a while. You have to treat him well, Chen Buiyuan said. Okay, no problem. Hello, Mr. Wang. The girl named Xiaoying smiled at Wang Yao. When she smiled, 2 small canine teeth and 2 dimples were revealed. She was very charming. Hello, this is? Wang Yao looked at Chen Buiyuan, puzzled. She will be responsible for your meals and living. If you have any other problems, she can also help you. You just need to ask. I don't need it. Wang Yao hurriedly waved his hand. He was an ordinary person. He had never thought that he would be served like this. It's my pleasure. You can call me anytime if you need anything. Chen Buiyuan did not wait for Wang Yao to say more. He turned around and left the car on the road outside. The car keys were also left behind. After that, the beautiful girl led Wang Yao into the small courtyard. After Wang Yao entered the room, he asked her to leave. The feeling of having someone by his side all the time made him very uncomfortable. The room was very spacious. The decoration was very simple and tasteful. Some of the wooden furniture looked quite old. How should I treat this illness? After sitting down, Wang Yao began to quietly think about the illness of the patient he had just diagnosed. Dr. Chen, how is Xiaoshue's condition? In the secluded room, the middle-aged woman asked. Well, her life should not be in danger for the time being, the old man in his 70s said. Really? Yes, according to the pulse, there should be no problem in 7 days, the old man said. 7 days? What about after 7 days? Then you have to ask Dr. Wang, who you invited, to see if he has a good way, the old man said. I heard from Buiyuan that he will stay here for at most 2 days, the middle-aged man said. 2 days? The old man shook his head. Why? 2 days is definitely not enough to cure Xiaoshue unless he is a god, the middle-aged man said. Dr. Chen, what about Dr. Wang's medical skills? The middle-aged man asked. I don't know how good his medical skills are, but they are definitely not bad. That pill almost brought the dead back to life. I have only seen such a pill twice in my life, Dr. Chen said. If he can have such a pill, he is definitely not an ordinary doctor. Maybe he has a good way to cure Xiaoshue's illness. Then find a way to keep him for 2 more days? We invited him this time because we made a promise, the middle-aged man said. And it's not just us. I heard from Buyuan that he lives like an ancient hermit. He lives on the mountain all day and doesn't want to be disturbed, let alone forced. Then, do you use emotion to persuade him? The old man asked with a smile. In the secluded courtyard, Wang Yao looked at the trees outside as if he was in a trance. Her internal organs, veins, bones, and skin were all damaged from the inside to the outside. If he wanted to cure the disease, he had to save her life first. The most important thing now was to save the patient's life. The prolongation pill was mysterious and extraordinary. However, Wang Yao knew how long it could delay the patient's life. He couldn't test it. Looks like I'll have to use that almost universal spiritual recipe first. Regather soup was used to strengthen the body. The air in Jing was not very good. This was also a well-known problem. Wang Yao felt that the sky here was not very blue. It was far worse than the sky at home. It was only 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but the sky was already a bit dark. If it were in Lianshan County, it would be very bright at this time. The air is too muddy. It's not good to live here for a long time. Moreover, he looked around at the tall buildings that towered into the clouds not far away. In such an international metropolis, the reinforced concrete forest lacked the breath of nature. Just as he was standing in the courtyard and looking around, Chen Buyuan came in from outside. Mr. Wang, Xiaoshua's parents invited you to dinner to express their gratitude. There's no need. Wang Yao smiled and refused. He instinctively rejected these kinds of occasions. Whether the food was delicious or not was another matter. The key was that he would be very uncomfortable. This is just a simple meal. What do you think? Chen Buyuan was a bit embarrassed. Okay, I have something to trouble you with. What is it? I have some things here. There are a few medicinal herbs. Please help me buy some. No problem. Chen Buyuan glanced at the list that Wang Yao gave him and then turned to leave. Before he left, he told Xiaoying to take Wang Yao to a place for dinner. The patient's parents hosted Wang Yao at a private restaurant in an alley courtyard. It was a very quiet place. Dr. Wang, thank you for saving Xiaoshua's life. The name of the woman who was lying on the hospital bed and suffering unimaginable pain was Su Xiaoshua. Her father looked very elegant. He had a white face, a square forehead and bright eyes. Her mother had a strong scholarly aura. She should be a daughter of a rich family. Their attitude was very amiable, which naturally made people feel that they were easy to get close to. In this way, Wang Yao had a comfortable meal. During the meal, the two parents naturally couldn't help but ask about Su Xiaoshua's condition. I'll try my best, Wang Yao said. He could only say so. Thank you. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay. After dinner, Xiaoying drove Wang Yao back to the small courtyard not far away. Chen Buyuan had already bought enough things that Wang Yao needed. Medicinal herbs, firewood, and a clay pot for boiling medicine. Wang Yao prepared the ingredients needed to boil the regather soup overnight. Under the night sky, Jing was still shining brightly. In a house, how's Xiaoshua's condition? Her life is saved for the time being, but her illness, it's good that she's still alive. Sometimes when I think about it, she's suffering while she's alive. I don't know where the Su family got a young doctor from. His methods are very clever. A young doctor? Yes, don't talk nonsense about this. Senior Commander specifically told me not to. I know what I'm doing. Chapter 186. He's here. He's here. Is Xiaoshua's life saved? Yes. That's good. That's good. An old man let out a long sigh of relief. Grandpa, why don't I ask him to come over tomorrow? That's good. Speaking of which, he saved my life. I should thank him properly. You should say hello to your Uncle Su first. Don't take away his distinguished guest, the old man said with a smile. Oh, I'll talk to Uncle Su later. The night view in Jing was exceptionally beautiful. After packing up everything, Wang Yao went to find Xiaoying. What do you need? Please take me around. This is my first time in Jing, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. The two of them and a car slowly drove out. The first place they went was the famous 10-mile-long street. It was the first street in Shenzhou on the east-west axis of Jing. A large number of famous buildings were on both sides of the street. The car moved very slowly. Wang Yao rolled down the window and looked outside. The lights were bright, as if it was daytime. There was a lot of traffic. It was very prosperous. The straight long street was unusually wide. After that, the young lady named Chen Ying brought him around the capital, giving him a cursory look at the capital. He saw Tiananmen Square, the Forbidden City, and the Great Hall of the People, which often appeared on TV. By the way, I'll visit my second aunt tomorrow. Wang Yao felt that it was rare for him to come to Jing. He should visit his second aunt, whom he had not seen for many years. Where else do you want to go, Mr. Wang? Just walk around. I'll take you to a street in Hohai to have a look. Okay, the guest should follow the host's wishes. Then, Chen Ying took him to the famous bar street in Hohai. There were all kinds of bars and small restaurants. Let's go in and have a look. Okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. Under Chen Ying's lead, they entered one of the more famous bars. A door separated the silence from the clamor. The bar was very lively. One more song. Someone shouted as soon as he entered the room. The people here were all young men and women. Although it was still April and the weather was still warm, the men and women who came here didn't wear much. Some of them were even a little revealing. Some of the women sat at the bar counter with heavy makeup on. Hey handsome, wanna have a drink? A pretty girl with dyed blonde hair saw Wang Yao and took the initiative to walk up to him with a glass of cocktail. She was so close to him that Wang Yao took half a step back. Sorry, thank you. Yo, you're quite innocent, aren't you? This way, please. Seeing this, Chen Ying smiled and brought him to a seat with relatively fewer people. The woman did not pester him too much. Hello, what would the two of you like to drink? As soon as they sat down, a waiter came up and asked. Bai Shui, Chen Ying said. Me too. Okay, please wait for a moment. The waiter was stunned. How interesting, coming to a bar to drink plain water. It was rare to see people drinking plain water in a bar. Of course, plain water also cost money. Wang Yao sat there and looked at the people around him. Some were crazily twisting their bodies, some were drinking alone at the bar counter, and some were drinking alone in the corner. This was a place to vent and indulge. Wang Yao was in it, but he was incompatible with the surroundings. He was like a crane in a flock of chickens. Let's go. When the water was served, Wang Yao did not drink it at all. He smiled and said to Chen Ying beside him. Okay. Chen Ying got up and went to pay the bill. Did you see that girl beside that guy? She's pretty. Coming to a bar and asking a girl to pay the bill. What a trick. Let me get to know her. A man who reeked of alcohol staggered and blocked Wang Yao's way. Bro, you're good. Please move. Chen Ying had a faint smile on her face, revealing two small dimples. Hey beauty, you're so beautiful when you smile. You look like a classmate of mine. Let's get to know each other. The man did not finish his words and sat on the ground. The wine in the glass spilled out and splashed on his face. Who? After he got up, he looked around and found that he was surrounded by people. When he turned his head, the beautiful woman and the young man had already left. He stood there like a fool. Okay, they're gone. Let's go drink. Yes, drink. At this time, Chen Ying and Wang Yao had already gotten into the car. I didn't expect Miss Chen to be a kung fu master. In the relatively dim environment of the bar, Wang Yao saw Chen Ying's move. She was very fast. She stepped with her long legs and hooked the man who was blocking her way to the ground. You flatter me. If we're wrong, Mr. Wang is also a kung fu master, right? Chen Ying asked with a smile. I know a little. Where are we going? Let's go back. The car drove back to the small courtyard. Wang Yao was not in a hurry to go back to the house to rest. Instead, he sat in the small courtyard and looked up at the Beijing sky. Let's hope that tomorrow will be a nice day. The next day, the wind was gentle and the sun was bright. Early in the morning, Wang Yao practiced boxing in the small courtyard. He practiced Tai Chi and the boxing moves recorded in the boxing classic. While he was practicing, Chen Ying, who was preparing breakfast for him, stopped what she was doing and stood aside to watch. She watched very carefully and seriously. She did not recover until Wang Yao finished practicing. It seems that I was wrong. Mr. Wang, you don't just know a little. You're a kung fu master. No, it's just for show. If you're just for show, there are not many people in the world who know real kung fu, Chen Ying said as she put breakfast on the table. So much. Wang Yao looked at the food on the table and said, I can't finish it alone. Have you eaten? If not, why don't you sit down and eat with me? No, thank you. Please go ahead. Chen Ying had always been respectful to Wang Yao. After breakfast, Wang Yao took out all the ingredients he had prepared the day before and prepared to decoct regather soup. The water was the ancient spring water that he had prepared at night. The firewood was of good quality. As for the herbs, they were wild herbs bought by Chen Buyuan. The quality and age of the herbs were good. The only problem was that the pot used to boil the herbs was not good enough. It was impossible for him to take out the multifunctional pot for herbs from the system. Crackle, crackle, crackle. The firewood was burning. The casserole pot on the fire soon steamed up. Wang Yao put the herbs he had prepared earlier into the pot one by one. The casserole pot was not as mysterious as the multifunctional pot for herbs, so he was very careful and meticulous. The licorice roots, shanjing, were also added early. The small courtyard was filled with the unique smell of herbs. Are you decocting the decoction? Chen Ying came out of the room and looked at him curiously. This was the first time she had seen someone decocting Chinese medicine in such a way. Moreover, it was for a young man. Looking at his concentrated expression, he was like an artist. Yes. The pot was boiling. The fire was getting bigger. Wang Yao took out a few pieces of firewood and put them back in a moment later. Time passed very quickly, and the color of the medicinal soup also changed slightly. The last decoction. Guiyuan was added. Magic herbs were mysterious. Its efficacy was not only extraordinary, but it could also integrate the efficacy of various herbs to avoid mutual interference and rejection. Hey, are you decocting the decoction, Dr. Wang? Just as the decoction was about to be completed, a beautiful woman came into the courtyard. She had long curly hair, a pretty face, a graceful body, and a heroic bearing. It was Guo Sairu. Please wait for a moment. Wang Yao looked up at her and smiled. No hurry. Go ahead, Guo Sairu said. Guo Sairu said. She grabbed a chair and sat next to Wang Yao. She watched him brew the medicine with interest. I've known you for so long, but this is the first time I've seen you decoction, Guo Sairu said. Miss Guo, please have some tea. Chen Ying made a cup of tea for Guo Sairu. Thank you. The decoction was still boiling in the pot. Wang Yao stared at the decoction, observing the color and smelling the herbs. These changes were very subtle. Not to mention laymen, many Chinese medicine practitioners could not understand the difference. Even Chinese medicine practitioners had begun to integrate advanced science and technology. For example, they used decoction machines to decoction. It's done. Wang Yao suddenly reached out and quickly took the pot away from the fire. What kind of decoction is this? Guo Sairu asked with a smile. Regather soup. Regather soup? The one you gave me last time? Guo Sairu couldn't be more familiar with this kind of medicine. It was these two sets of medicine that had forcefully pulled her grandfather back from the brink of death, allowing him to live for a few more months. Furthermore, it seemed that he could live for another year and a half. Yes, Wang Yao said. Is it for Xiaoxue? Yes. Her body is too weak. Even if I use the pill to temporarily save her life, she won't be able to hold on for long. We have to strengthen her body. Do you have time at noon? Why? My grandfather wants to see you. Thank you for saving his life last time. No need. You paid for those 2 decoctions, Wang Yao said with a smile. What's wrong with seeing him? My grandfather is not a tiger. He won't eat people, Guosairu said with a smile. The beautiful woman was so close to Wang Yao. Her fragrance was like an orchid. Thank you on my behalf. It's really not necessary. Someone's here? Wang Yao heard a voice as soon as he looked up. Why don't you want to see me? It was an old man who came in. He looked to be in his 80s. He was leaning on a walking stick. His back was slightly hunched. His face was full of age spots, and all his hair had fallen out. He looked to be in poor health. Only his eyes were still bright. There were 3 people beside him. 2 of them were in their 30s. Their steps were steady and powerful. The last one was in his 50s. He was slightly plump. He was smiling and looked very kind. Grandpa, why are you here? Guosairu hurried forward. If I didn't come, would I be able to see my savior? Guosairu's grandfather said. Hello, Chief. Seeing the old man, Chen Ying was very surprised. He quickly picked up a chair and went to the old man. Chapter 187. Good, Xiao Ying is getting more and more beautiful, the old man said with a smile. You flatter me, Chen Ying hurriedly replied respectfully. Hello, Dr. Wang. My name is Guo Shengli. The old man took the initiative to introduce himself. Hello, my name is Wang Yao, Wang Yao said with a smile. He was neither servile nor overbearing. Why don't you want to see an old man like me? Guo Shengli asked Wang Yao with a smile. His attitude was very amiable, like a grandpa next door. He did not have the aura of a superior. Are you afraid of trouble? Seeing that Wang Yao was a little hesitant, he said with a smile. Yes. Well, an old man like me is a little troublesome, Guo Shengli said with a sigh. Grandpa, let Dr. Wang take a look at you, Guosairu said softly. No hurry, let's talk first. Guo Shengli said. Dr. Wang, I have to thank you for letting me live for a few more months. You're too courteous. That medicine cost money. Money? Sigh, some people want to go bankrupt to stay in this world for a few more days, but they can't. At that time, what's the use of money? What's the use of power? Guo Shengli sighed. This old man will remember your kindness. Our Guo family will remember it. If there were other people who were familiar with the old man's identity and temperament, they would be shocked to hear him say this. Okay, I will take a look at you again. Okay. Wang Yao reached out to check the old man's pulse. The old man's physical condition could be described in 4 words, which was, a candle in the wind. It was like a candle flame in the wind, which could be extinguished at any time. This was not caused by a disease, but by natural aging and the exhaustion of the body. The alternation of life and death was the most basic law of nature. Even with the use of regather soup and prolongation pills, the effects could not last forever. In short, people would die eventually. You have to take care of yourself. Wang Yao removed his hand and said. Yes. Guo Shengli laughed heartily after hearing that. At his age, it would be a lie to say that he wasn't afraid of death. However, after the previous life and death experience, he had seen through some things. It should be said that he had seen through some things long ago. If it wasn't for his children that he was worried about, he wouldn't have to struggle so bitterly. Dr. Wang, can you prescribe another dose for my grandfather? Guosairu asked. Yes, but the effect of this medicine will get worse and worse, Wang Yao said. Yes, I can understand and accept this. Sorry to trouble you. Maybe another day? I'll get Uncle He to prepare the required herbs this afternoon. Guo Shengli sat in the small courtyard and chatted with Wang Yao. He didn't talk fast, and after sitting for a while, Wang Yao heard his breathing become a little rapid. He got up and went to the old man's side. He stretched out his hand to help the old man with the massage method to straighten out his breathing. Unexpectedly, one of the two men in their 30s stepped in front of him in an instant. He stretched out his hand to hold Wang Yao's arm, but his hand was dodged by him. Xiaowu! Guoshengli glared at him and scolded him. Dr. Wang, don't be offended. They mean well. I can understand, Wang Yao said with a smile. Please continue. Wang Yao just stretched out his hand and patted Guoshengli's back. He followed the direction of the spine and pressed back and forth along the meridians several times. He also pressed several important acupoints with force. Well, it's much more comfortable. I didn't expect Dr. Wang to know massage techniques, Guoshengli said. Guoshengli said. He felt that his breathing had become much smoother and lighter after Wang Yao had done that. I know a little. Guoshengli stayed for a while, and then left with the help of his entourage. After all, Guoshengli was an old man in his 80s. It was natural for him to be tired. I wanted to invite you to my house, but I didn't expect my grandfather to come in person. The old man's health is not very good. It's necessary to walk appropriately, but don't take too long. Rest more, Wang Yao said. Then I'll go back. Take care. The small courtyard was quiet again. I didn't expect you to know the old chief. Chen Ying sighed softly. I don't know him, Wang Yao said. I don't want to know him. Of course, he didn't say the second half of the sentence. It was just his true thoughts. Although Guoshengli looked very amiable, he was, after all, a distinguished person. I'll go out for a while. He put the regather soup into a porcelain bottle that he had prepared in advance and left the house with it. I'll drive you. Chen Ying hurriedly followed him out. It was only a few miles, so there was no need to drive. In the secluded room, the girl with bandages all over her body was lying quietly under the gauze curtain. She had woken up and opened her eyes. Am I not dead? Do I have to continue? Feeling the heat from all over her body, she felt as if she was lying in a fire. This kind of burning pain was torturous day and night. She was used to it. She couldn't move her body, as if she was a corpse, but she could still feel it. What was worse than death? This was it. Squeak. The door opened gently. Someone came in? She couldn't turn her head, but she could hear. This terrible disease had almost destroyed her everything, but she could still see and hear. Two people came in. They were Wang Yao and her mother. I boiled a decoction for her, Wang Yao said. Feed her a small amount first and see how it works. Okay. Su Xiaoshue's mother fed her daughter the decoction spoonful by spoonful. Her movements were very gentle. Xiaoshue, after taking the decoction, you will slowly get better, she gently said to her daughter in front of Wang Yao. When she said that, she probably didn't believe it herself, but she wanted to comfort her daughter and herself. After all, there was hope as long as one was alive. After taking the decoction, Wang Yao sat quietly by the bed and looked at the girl who had opened her eyes. She must have been a beautiful girl before she was sick. He didn't know why he suddenly had such a thought. This decoction is effective. Let her take it within a day. After a while, he checked her pulse again. The decoction was working again. Although it didn't have an immediate effect like the prolongation pill yesterday, it was restoring the vitality of her body. After the decoction entered her body, the efficacy of the decoction spread in her abdomen in a very short time. This was because her internal organs were deteriorating, and her qi and blood were not flowing smoothly. It was somewhat difficult to absorb. I'll go back first. Take care. Su Xiaoshue's mother walked Wang Yao out of the door. Not long after he left, the old man in his 70s entered the house. Uncle Chen. Hello, I'm here to see Xiaoshue, the old man said. Please come in, Su Xiaoshue's mother said. Dr. Wang just came and brought her a decoction. I just fed her a part of it. Really? They went into the secluded room. The light in the room was not strong, but the ventilation was good. Dr. Chen sat by the bed and reached out to check her pulse. The doctor sighed softly. What's wrong, Uncle Chin? The woman beside him asked. Nothing, it's a good thing, the old man said. From the pulse, Xiaoshua's condition is better than yesterday. Can I see the decoction he brought? Of course. Su Xiaoshua's mother took the decoction that had not been finished. Dr. Chen said a little, and put it into his mouth to taste. Ginseng, glossy Ganoderma, sealwort. He said a few herbs. If Wang Yao had been there, he would have been shocked because the herbs he mentioned were the herbs he used to decoct regather soup. Of course, the two most important herbs, Shanjing and Guiyuan, could not be tasted by Wang Yao. It's impossible to have such a magical effect with just these herbs, Dr. Chen said softly. There must be something else in the decoction. What did you say, Uncle Chen? Oh, nothing, Dr. Chen said. This decoction is very good. You can give it to Xiaoxue. It's very good for her recovery. Okay, I'll drink some more for her later. Dr. Chen stayed for a while and then left. After he came out, he thought for a while and called an old friend to meet him. In a courtyard house, two old men in their 70s were leaning on rattan chairs, drinking tea and chatting. Is it really as magical as you said? Of course, Dr. Chen said. I saw it with my own eyes. One decoction almost reversed life and death. Not only that, Dr. Chen said. He just made a decoction. The effect of the decoction is very good. I guess it was because of this young man that the Guo family could survive last time. What's his background? Which sect does he belong to? Sitting opposite Dr. Chen was a slightly fat old man. His eyes were small, his forehead was wide, and his face was ruddy. He had white hair and a youthful face. He has such a great ability at such a young age, Dr. Chen said. I haven't heard that the old man has the ability to teach such a disciple. If the disciple is so powerful, the master must be even more amazing. Who could it be? The one in Miaojiang? Impossible, Dr. Chen said. I heard that he is terminally ill. How could he be willing to let such a disciple go to Jing? Who could it be? Ask him when you have time, Dr. Chen said. Well, I think this young friend's temperament is very similar to mine, Dr. Chen said. To save one's life, cultivate one's vitality, regulate the internal organs, smooth the meridians, and prevent death and extend life. After returning from the Su family's house, Wang Yao thought about the treatment plan for Su Xiaoxue in his room. He even postponed lunch. Mr. Wang, do you want to eat something first? Chen Ying's voice came from outside. Okay. Wang Yao put away the notes he had recorded and went out of the room to the dining room. Chen Ying had already prepared the meal. It was exquisite and delicious. She was not only beautiful but also knew kung fu. She could cook well and tidy up the house. She was definitely a good wife. Come out with me later. Okay. Wang Yao planned to go to his aunt's house after lunch. It was not appropriate for him to not visit his aunt's house when he came to Jing. Chapter 188. Can you accompany me to buy something first? After dinner, Wang Yao and Chen Ying went out together. Okay, what do you want to buy? Let's go to the mall. I haven't decided yet. Then, Chen Ying drove Wang Yao to a big mall nearby. Wang Yao bought some things in the mall and spent a few thousand yuan. Then, he gave Chen Ying the address he got from his mother. The rest of the thing was to sit in the car and look out at the streets of Beijing. His second aunt lived in a relatively remote place near the 5th Ring Road. Along the way, Wang Yao had seen a real fleet of carriages and horses. There were so many cars in Beijing. The car drove for about 2 hours and arrived at a residential area. This is the place, Dr. Wang. Chen Ying found a place to park. Okay, please wait for me here. After Wang Yao got out of the car, he carried the gifts to the floor where his second aunt lived according to the address. He stood outside for a while, but no one answered. Just as he knocked on the door, a neighbor came out from the next room and said, "There's no one at home. Everyone has gone to work." Oh, thank you. Wang Yao was stunned. He realized that he had made a common mistake. At this time, most people had to go to work. After confirming with the kind-hearted auntie that this was indeed his second aunt's house, he went downstairs with the gift in his hand. What's wrong? Chen Ning asked. She's not at home. Didn't you call in advance? No, I wanted to give them a surprise. Wang Yao smiled. Sorry for making you come here for nothing. It's okay. I can show you around. We didn't walk this far last night, Chen Ning said. Come back tonight? Okay, you should ask in advance. Okay. Wang Yao took out his phone and sent a text message to his second aunt. In an elevator in a shopping mall in Beijing, a middle-aged woman with a slightly yellow face looked down at her phone. She was surprised. She hurriedly made a phone call. On the other end of the phone, Wang Yao hung up and called back. Second aunt, I'm Yao. Yes, I'm in Beijing now. I'm going to visit you, uncle and sister tonight. Are you at home? No, but I'm going to eat. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao felt warm in his heart. His second aunt was still as concerned about him as ever. She asked him what he was doing in Beijing, and if he needed any help. She even insisted that he come to their house for dinner. Meeting an old friend in a foreign land was a blessing in life, let alone a family member. When he returned to the small courtyard, He Qixing was already waiting outside. He had brought the ingredients for the regather soup and an invitation. It was an invitation from the old man of the Guo family to have dinner with him. Sorry, I already have plans for tonight. Wang Yao refused with a smile. Please thank Mr. Guo for his kindness. How about another day? All right. After Chen Ning came back, she informed Wang Yao and went out. She went to the Su family and met Su Xiaoshui's father. Chief, he still has relatives in the capital. Oh, where are they? They live in Ansheng community on the 5th Ring Road. It's his second aunt, Chen Ning said. Their family lives in Beijing? Yes, he's going to her house tonight to have dinner. Well, I know. Good job, the middle-aged man said. I'll go back first. Go ahead. At about 5 p.m., Chen Ning drove Wang Yao out. It was the most congested time in Beijing. Their speed was quite slow. It could even be described as tortoise crawling. It was almost 8 p.m. when he arrived at his second aunt's house. His second aunt's husband was not home yet. Second aunt. Wang Yao saw his second aunt, whom he had not seen for nearly 2 years. She was of medium build and slightly chubby. Her face was slightly sallow, and she was not in good spirits. Why are you still buying things? Wang Yao's second aunt scolded him when she saw him carrying all these things. I bought some tonics for you and my uncle. You don't look very good. Are you feeling unwell? Wang Yao asked with concern. His second aunt was like a mother to him. She had been very good to him when he was young. Come in. Where are my uncle and Lina? Your uncle is on his way back. Your sister has to study at night. After entering the house, Wang Yao looked at his second aunt's house in Beijing. It was not big. It was about 70 square meters. The decoration was simple. After all, his family could only be considered as a working-class family in Beijing. It was very impressive to be able to afford a house. Drink some water first. I'll go and prepare the food. Not long after Wang Yao sat down, the door opened. His second aunt's husband came back. He was in his 40s. He was thin and had big eyes. He was carrying some cooked food in his hand. Wang Yao hurried to help him. Uncle. Hey, Yao is here. His uncle brought the food to the kitchen. Then he came to the living room and chatted with him for a while. Dinner was ready. Time to eat, Wang Yao's second aunt said. Where is Lina? She won't be back until 9 p.m. Let's not wait for her. In order to welcome Wang Yao, his second aunt was busy for a while. She prepared a big table of dishes. Wow, it's so sumptuous. Eat more. Okay. The three of them sat down and chatted while eating. Yao, what are you doing in Beijing this time? I'm helping someone, Wang Yao replied. I heard from your mother that your family has contracted Nanshan Hill to grow herbs? Yes. Are you tired? This was the difference between relatives and ordinary people. Relatives would first ask if you were tired, while others would ask if your salary was high. I'm not tired. I like it very much, Wang Yao said with a smile. Wang Yao didn't drink. His uncle didn't drink or smoke. Therefore, the meal was finished quickly. After dinner, his second aunt cleaned up and went to the living room to chat with him. Aunt, where do you feel unwell? I'm fine. Let me take a look. You know how to treat illnesses? His second aunt was surprised. A little. Didn't you study biology when you were in school? Haha, it was heaven's gift. Okay, let me take a look, his second aunt said with a smile. Wang Yao reached out to feel her pulse. After a while, he knew the cause of the illness. Aunt, you have a tumor in your abdomen. It's in your uterus. You have to treat it as soon as possible, Wang Yao said. His words gave his second aunt and uncle a fright. You really know how to treat illnesses? His second aunt said. Her illness was the same as what Wang Yao said. She just didn't want to be hospitalized for treatment, so it had been delayed. The longer it was delayed, the more serious it became. A few days ago, she went for a checkup and found that there was a tendency to hyperplasia. The doctor in the hospital asked her to have surgery as soon as possible. Yes, you don't feel well. Didn't you go to the hospital? I did. The doctor asked me to have surgery. I was thinking that your sister is about to take the college entrance examination, so I wanted to wait. How about this? I'll brew some medicine for you. Brew medicine? Yes, I'll send it to you tomorrow. Okay, his second aunt said with a smile. Wang Yao stayed at his second aunt's house until 9 p.m. and then left. His second aunt and uncle walked him downstairs. Chen Ying, who had been waiting outside, saw him come out and quickly drove the car over. After Wang Yao got into the car, he waved to his two relatives who were still waiting outside and asked them to go back. The car slowly left. When did Yao learn how to treat illnesses? How would I know? His second aunt said. The car just now was not cheap. Does he have friends in Beijing? He's a classmate. Let's go back. Nana will be back soon. Okay. Wang Yao sat in the car, but he was thinking about his second aunt's illness. From the perspective of traditional Chinese medicine, the formation of tumors was mostly due to stagnation of qi, blood stasis, and accumulation of toxins. The treatment methods were mostly to promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis, clear heat and detoxify, and soften the hard and dispel the blockage. Although he did not have ready-made prescriptions provided by the system, he had a lot of knowledge and some ancient prescriptions to refer to. Chen Ying, who was driving, saw Wang Yao was thinking through the rearview mirror. She did not say much and quietly drove the car. It was past 9 p.m., and there were still a lot of cars on the road outside. However, compared to when they came, it was much less. After nearly 2 hours of driving, Wang Yao had a general plan in his mind. It was a prescription. After arriving at the small courtyard, Wang Yao began to prepare the herbs. Astragalus, Cotinopsis palacula, bone-penetrating grass, unihorn lotus, glossy ganoderma. The herbs were relatively common. If they were on Nanshan Hill, he could prepare them overnight. However, he had to wait until the next day. After making a list of the herbs he needed, he thought for a while before turning off the lights and going to bed. How is it, Lao Li? Well, it's a lot better. Did the young man use the medicine? Yes, I took a little, but there are a few herbs that I can't identify. In Su Xiaoshue's room, 2 old men were diagnosing her. Isn't the list he made with Buyuan? It's impossible to have such an effect with just a few herbs, the old man said. That's his secret, the old man said. Well, you're already so old. Don't be so curious. As long as it can help Xiaoshua's illness, it's fine. You're right, the old man said. The next morning, just as the sun rose, Wang Yao got up. He found Chen Ying practicing boxing in the courtyard, but he did not know what kind of boxing she was practicing. After seeing Wang Yao, Chen Ying stopped to greet him. Mr. Wang, you're up so early. You're up even earlier. I need you to help me buy some things. No problem. Chen Ying took the list from Wang Yao and looked at it. Are these all the herbs? Yes. I'm not good at this. I'll contact Uncle Chen right away. After a while, Chen Buiyuan drove over. He took the list from Wang Yao and glanced at it. I'll send it to you before 9 a.m. Okay, I want all the wild herbs. They're not for Su Xiaoshua's treatment. I have other uses for them, Wang Yao said. Okay. Chen Buiyuan drove away. The sun rose and shone on the earth. It was another sunny day. Chapter 189. The sun was shining brightly. It was a good time to brew the decoction. Wang Yao fetched some firewood, started a fire, and brewed the decoction. Wang Yao had a fan in his hand. From time to time, he would disperse the smoke rising from the fire. He was very familiar with this decoction. Wild herbs, licorice roots, and the right time had all been met. The decoction was slowly changing. Chen Buiyuan came and brought back the herbs Wang Yao needed. Seeing Wang Yao brewing the decoction, Chen Buiyuan did not stay. He said goodbye and left. When it was close to noon, the decoction was finished. Wang Yao did not rest. He immediately started to brew another decoction. He carefully washed the clay pot that he used to brew the decoction and filled it with ancient spring water that he had prepared in advance. The fire was not extinguished. He only added some firewood and it started to burn again. Astragalus root, Cotinopsis palacula, glossy Ganoderma. He added the herbs one by one. Wang Yao's movements were very slow. He was as calm as an old monk. Dr. Wang, is it time to eat? Chen Ying reminded him softly. You eat first. Don't wait for me, Wang Yao said. As he spoke, he added another herb. It was pear grass, which could be used to treat ulcers. The so-called ulcers were malignant sores. The stagnation of qi and blood, the accumulation of toxins, and ulcers on the outside and tumors on the inside. He had added 2 licorice roots into the decoction. He had added some shanjing earlier because he found that his second aunt's body was seriously damaged when he diagnosed her. It should have something to do with her daily life and work. She did not earn much and was reluctant to eat some things, just like his mother at home. I don't know what my second aunt's job is. She didn't tell me when I asked her last night, Wang Yao thought. The last herb, guiyuan, was added. The decoction boiled for a while. The decoction was finished. The door of the small courtyard was open. 2 old people were standing outside the door. They had been standing outside for a while but did not go in. They just stood there and watched Wang Yao brew the decoction. How is it? His temperament is really good. How about the decoction? It's also an ancient method. The order in which the herbs are added is determined according to the medicinal efficacy. Very few people pay attention to this now. Why are you so concerned about him? To be honest, I want to meet his master. The 2 old men stood outside the door and looked at Wang Yao brewing medicine in the courtyard. They stood there for more than an hour. They were really patient. What's the use of seeing him? Ask and learn. Don't you think our area is chaotic enough? We're all old. Should we rest? Old Manly said. The 2 of them stood outside for a while, then turned and left. What are the identities of the 2 old men outside? Although he was concentrating on decocting the decoction, his extraordinary 5 senses had already detected the 2 people outside. He could also vaguely hear their conversation, even though they were speaking in a very low voice. Wang Yao asked Chen Ying after he put the decoction into the decoction. Mr. Chen and Mr. Li, they are both doctors, Chen Ying said. Okay. Wang Yao just grunted and didn't say much. After brewing the medicine, he called his second aunt and prepared to send it to her. Send it to me? I'm working. At this time, Wang Yao's second aunt was sitting in the elevator. Then where do you work? No, I'm very busy now. How about in the afternoon? In the end, Wang Yao asked his second aunt where she worked. It was a large shopping mall. Let's go. After knowing the location, he immediately set off. Of course, he needed Chen Ying to lead the way. About an hour later, they arrived at the shopping mall. There were people coming and going, and it was very lively. What is your second aunt doing here? I don't know. Let's go in and have a look. He was not in a hurry to call his second aunt. Instead, he went into the shopping mall and walked around a few times. Suddenly, he was stunned. He looked at his second aunt. The moment the elevator opened, she was sitting in the elevator. She looked a little tired. He immediately understood what his second aunt's job was. When he was checking her pulse, Wang Yao found that her blood pressure was a little high. The job of watching the elevator was not suitable for her. It had an obvious adverse effect on her condition. He saw it, and Chen Ying seemed to have seen it too. Wait a minute. Wang Yao stood outside the elevator and waited quietly alone. After a while, the elevator landed. With a clear ding, the elevator opened. Hello, which floor do you want to go to? A somewhat hoarse and tired voice asked. Second aunt. Wang Yao felt a lump in his throat. Yao, why are you here? His second aunt was surprised to see him. I'm here to send you the medicine. Wang Yao smiled. He felt that his smile was a little bitter. Excuse me, someone behind him said. Sorry. Wang Yao entered the elevator. After a few people came up, the elevator opened. What time do you get off work? 4 o'clock. I'll wait for you. Go out and wait. It's not appropriate to wait in the elevator. Okay. Wang Yao sat quietly in the lobby of the shopping mall. He looked at the people coming and going and thought about what had just happened. Watching the elevator was actually not tiring. It was just time-consuming. Moreover, when the elevator started and stopped, one would feel a little uncomfortable. Just looking at one's family member working with a tired face would make one unconsciously feel uncomfortable. It was not easy to make a living in Beijing. The waiting time seemed to be very long. Wang Yao sat there. Chen Ying sat quietly beside him. She did not say anything. She thought that Wang Yao might not be in a good mood now. It was 4 o'clock p.m. Some of the staff changed shift. Wang Yao's second aunt had finished her work for the day and could go home to rest. It took several buses to get to her place. It would take almost an hour to get there. Let us send you back. Chen Ying drove Wang Yao's second aunt home. This is the medicine I decocted. Drink some and see how it works. Wang Yao handed the decoction to his second aunt. Okay. His second aunt took it. She felt that the decoction was still warm. She poured a small bowl of it and drank it. As soon as the decoction entered her stomach, she felt warm. Her stomach was very comfortable. Then, the warmth began to spread throughout her body. In a short period of time, her body seemed to be much more comfortable. Even the tiredness from staying in the elevator for the day seemed to have been driven away. This decoction is so magical, his second aunt said with a smile. The effect may be even better in a while. Wang Yao sat in the living room and chatted with his second aunt. He asked about his second uncle's work, his cousin's studies, and the situation at home. Time passed just like that. It's effective, Wang Yao said after checking his pulse. I've been sent away tonight. Let's have dinner here. No, let's go out to eat. On the way, Wang Yao saw several restaurants outside. One of them looked good. It's okay to eat out. There's still food at home. It's okay. You've been tired all day. Don't worry. It's my treat. In the end, Zhang Xiufang couldn't persuade Wang Yao. She called her husband and made an appointment to have dinner together in a hotel outside. Chen Ying found an excuse to leave. She then made an appointment at the best hotel nearby. At the same time, she called Chen Buiyuan. Uncle Chen, I have something to tell you. Wang Yao's second uncle didn't come back until after 7 p.m. Dinner here. He was a little surprised after entering the hotel. It's not cheap here. I've booked everything, Wang Yao said. After sitting down, a waiter immediately came over. After ordering, the dishes were served one after another. Auntie, have you booked the tickets? No, we're preparing for Destiny's Day. Tell me the time. I'll book the tickets for you. I'm going back anyway, Wang Yao said. Well, okay. His second aunt hesitated for a moment and nodded. Wang Yao ordered a bottle of red wine for dinner. He drank a little with his uncle. Yao, have you finished your business in Jing? No, but I'll go back with you. The matter here can't be solved in a short time. What he meant by can't be solved was that Su Xiaoshue's illness couldn't be cured in 2 or 3 days. It would take a long time. During the treatment period, he couldn't stay in Jing all the time. Will you come back after May 1st? Yes, I'll definitely come back, but the specific time will depend on the situation. Chapter 190. Okay, if you come again, you can just stay at home. No, I have a friend here who has arranged a place for me to stay, Wang Yao said with a smile. After dinner, Wang Yao originally wanted to see his cousin, but after thinking about it, he decided not to. He returned to the cottage with Chen Ying to rest. Help me make an appointment with the Su family tomorrow. I'm going to leave Beijing, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll contact them right away. Leave Beijing? What about Xiaoshue's illness? Su Xiaoshue's mother immediately disagreed after hearing the news. Yeah, she's just getting better. I even heard her talking when I went over today. We invited him, so we have to respect his wishes, Su Xiaoshue's father said slowly. Besides, he didn't say that he won't come back. If we force him to stay here, what if he is unhappy? What about Xiaoshue's illness? What if he doesn't come back? Invite him? It's not like we don't know where he lives. Ask Chen Ying to ask when Dr. Wang will leave and where he will go. Prepare a plane ticket for him and ask him if he needs anything else. We will try our best to satisfy him. Okay. That night, after having dinner with his second aunt and her husband, Wang Yao didn't go anywhere else. Instead, he stayed quietly in the small courtyard and looked up at the sky of Jing City for a long time before going into the house to rest. You're leaving so soon? When Chen Ying heard Wang Yao's departure time the next day, she was a little surprised. Yes, can you accompany me to the airport? Okay. After breakfast, just as he was about to leave, Guosairu came. How's Xiaoshue's illness? She needs to stay alive for the time being. I need to consider the treatment plan of the system. I can't treat her in a short time here, Wang Yao told the truth. Guosairu was silent for a moment. Are you free today? What's the matter? If it's a meal, I'll skip it, Wang Yao said. I want to see Su Xiaoshue later. I do want to have a meal with you to express my gratitude. Gratitude? Wang Yao suddenly thought of his aunt. I do have something that I need your help with. What is it? Please tell me, Guosairu said seriously. I have a relative in Beijing. He's not doing well at work. Can you help him? No problem. Guosairu thought it was something big. She didn't care about other things, but in Beijing, arranging a job was nothing to her. Tell me the names of your relatives. Sure. Wang Yao found a piece of paper, wrote down his second aunt's name and contact information, and handed it to Guosairu. Guosairu stayed for a while and then left. Wang Yao also went to Su Xiaoshue's house. In the spacious room, behind the gauze curtains on the bed, the patient was wrapped in bandages. Other than breathing and blinking, it was impossible to tell that this was a living person. Wang Yao felt the patient's breathing had become stronger. Before he got close, he felt the changes in the patient's body. He went to the bedside and sat down. He reached out and checked the patient's pulse. After taking the regather soup, the patient's condition had improved significantly. This was also the effect of the prolongation pill. When Wang Yao was checking, Su Xiaoshue's mother and brother were next to him. They looked a little nervous. After Wang Yao's diagnosis, Su Xiaoshue's mother couldn't wait to ask, "How is it, Dr. Wang?" "It's much better than yesterday. Have you used up the medicine I gave you?" "Yes, I've fed it to Xiaoshue." "Okay, I'm going to leave tomorrow. Before I leave, I'll leave some medicine and how to take it. I'll come back after a while." "Okay, I'll have to trouble you. If there's anything I can do, please tell me." "Okay, I need you to provide these herbs." As usual, Wang Yao gave a list of herbs. Su Xiaoshue's brother took it and carefully put it away. "I'll prepare them as soon as possible." "Who is this man?" Su Xiaoshue, who was lying on the hospital bed, looked at Wang Yao. Her vision was blurry. She could only vaguely see his figure. She couldn't see his face clearly, even though he was so close to her. Because of her illness, all the organs in her body were affected. Even though she could see, she couldn't see clearly. She also couldn't hear clearly, but she could distinguish her family and people who often came to see her through her blurred vision and hearing. Feeling Su Xiaoshue's gaze, Wang Yao turned to look at her. "Take care of yourself. You'll get better." "Huh?" Su Xiaoshue heard Wang Yao's voice. Unexpectedly, she heard what he said clearly. This had never happened before. Of course, other than herself, no one else knew about this. Wang Yao didn't stay in the room for long. "She needs to rest." This was what he said when he left. "Yes, but her illness makes it impossible for her to sleep peacefully," Su Xiaoshue's mother said. Her illness was as painful as fire. How could she sleep if her whole body was on fire? "Well, I'll prescribe a medicine to relieve her pain. At least it will allow her to sleep for a while," Wang Yao said. "Okay," Su Xiaoshue's mother said. After leaving, Wang Yao returned to the small courtyard. He continued to add treatment plans that he had previously considered. Calming the nerves and relieving pain were only temporary methods, but they also had a good auxiliary effect. In this regard, Su Xiaoshue's situation was somewhat similar to Zhou Wukong's. Because of her illness, she couldn't rest well. Her body was getting worse and worse. It was a vicious cycle. However, her situation was much more serious than Zhou Wukong's. Carydalis Yanhusuo, Dahurian Angelica, licorice and anisetum. This was the prescription he used last time when he treated Zhou Wukong's illness. It focused on relieving pain. The medicine was simple, but it was specific. The effect was very good. This time, he decided to use it on Su Xiaoshue. Anisetum was a licorice root. It had a single leaf, aniseed, and was shaped like a lotus. It could clear away heat, detoxify, remove blood stasis, and relieve pain. It was a licorice root. He still had some left when he exchanged for it last time. As for the other herbs, they were all commonly used herbs. They could be bought in traditional Chinese medicine shop. Angelica, Poria cocos, licorice, and moonlight herb. This was the prescription for Anshensen. It was the first prescription he got from the system. Although he didn't use it as often as regather soup, he still used it a few times. He still had a few pieces of moonlight herb. These were the 2 decoctions he was going to decoct. They had a certain auxiliary effect on Su Xiaoshue's illness. In a large supermarket somewhere in Jing, Wang Yao's second aunt, Zhang Xiufang, was still looking at the elevator. Since she had taken Wang Yao's medicine, she felt a lot better in less than a day. She also felt a lot better. When she got up this morning, she washed her face and looked in the mirror. She seemed to look a lot better. "I didn't expect Yao to have such excellent medical skills. Who did he learn from?" Just as she was thinking about these things, her colleague in the mall came to her. Someone was looking for her. "Looking for me?" "Yes, go ahead. I'll take care of it for you." "Okay, thank you." When Zhang Xiufang went out, she didn't know the person who was looking for her. It was a woman in her 30s. She was wearing a business suit and looked very delicate. Hello, are you Zhang Xiufang? Yes, I am. And you are? My name is Zhao Yulan. Ms. Zhao smiled and introduced herself. She also explained the purpose of her visit. You want me to work? I don't remember submitting my resume. Zhang Xiufang was stunned. At her age, it was not easy to find a job in Jing. Most of the jobs were time-consuming or tiring. The salary was also low. After all, she was in her 40s. She didn't have any education or special skills. She had spent a lot of effort to find a job near her home, but it was to no avail. Today, someone suddenly came to her and offered to work at her company. She had heard of this company. It was not small and was very close to her home. It was only a 10-minute bus ride. But I don't know her. Why did she suddenly offer me a job? I don't have any special skills. Could it be a scammer? Zhang Xiufang was worried. If you have any doubts, you can go and take a look. This is my contact number. Ms. Zhao smiled and left her contact number. I will answer your calls 24 hours a day. Oh, okay. Thank you. Zhang Xiufang returned to the elevator with a head full of doubts. After work, she called her husband and told him about this matter. What? Invite you to work at Kuda company? It's most likely a scammer. Don't go with them. Okay. Zhang Xiufang replied. In the small courtyard, the firewood was crackling and crackling. A small pot of medicinal soup was boiling. A few herbs were added. The last one was a few leaves of star anise tongue. They were as green as jade. When they were added to the decoction immediately changed color. Wang Yao took the casserole down. Dr. Wang, what medicine is this? Chen Ying went forward and asked. She knew the rules very well. When Wang Yao was brewing the medicine, she would keep a certain distance. She would not be close to him. Every time, she would wait for Wang Yao to finish brewing the medicine before going forward. Painkillers. Painkillers. Yes. Wang Yao filtered the medicinal soup with gauze. The clear soup was like clear water. He poured it into a porcelain bottle. The remaining dregs were directly poured away. If he had used the multifunctional pot for herbs, there would not have been such a problem. The dregs were separated very well from the medicinal soup. Moreover, the medicinal effect was maintained better. After all, this was a small courtyard in Beijing. It was not the small cottage on Nanshan Hill where he lived. Some things could not be used or even used. The painkillers were easy to prepare. Next was the enchantment. This medicine required a little bit of mental effort. Just as Wang Yao was busy preparing the medicine, Chen Ying had already booked the plane tickets for him. Unknowingly, it was already afternoon. Should I go and take a look? Standing on the bus, Zhang Xiufang kept thinking about what happened in the morning. When she got off work, she received a call from Ms. Zhao, asking her to go and take a look if she had time. Anyway, it's not far from home. What if it's true? She decided to go to the company to take a look. Chapter 191. After a few stops, she arrived at the company called Kata Group. This was not the headquarters of the company. It was just a branch. Zhang Xiuying tried to call Ms. Zhao. She quickly came down from upstairs. You're finally here. I've been waiting for you for a long time. What do you think? Ms. Zhao asked with a smile. You really work in this company? Zhang Xiuying was surprised. Of course. Why would I lie to you? Do you want to come in with me? Sure, Zhang Xiuying said. I don't think there's anything to lie to me. She followed Zhao Yulan into the building. The company was very formal. Many staff members were busy. These people obviously knew Zhao Yulan. They did not look like scammers. Are you relieved now? Zhao Yulan asked with a smile. Yes. Zhang Xiuying smiled embarrassedly. When will you be here to complete the procedures? Can I ask why you asked me to come here? I don't know. Our manager called me directly, Zhao Yulan said. Your manager called? Yes, Zhao Yulan said. To be honest, when she received the call, she was also very surprised. The task that the manager assigned to her was really strange. She had hired such a person to work in the company, but the other party didn't even know about it and treated her as a swindler. If she hadn't seen it with her own eyes, she would have taken more detours. However, it was obvious that something that could make the manager, who was rarely seen, repeatedly ask her to do it, was definitely not simple. She was afraid that this woman was related to the person in question. It doesn't matter if she's a position, but she must have a guaranteed salary. Even if she's here to eat for free, it's fine as long as she doesn't cause trouble. This was the manager's original words. This meant that it was fine if this woman did not know anything. She was just here to earn a salary. Since the manager had said so, this woman must have some connections. Then what am I here for? Zhang Xiuying asked. She did not know how to use computers or English. She had no skills. Right, she knew a little about knitting, but it did not seem to be useful in a company like this. I'm an office worker. I'm organizing some documents. I don't need a computer. Let me think about it, Zhang Xiuying said. Okay, I'll wait for your call. Zhang Xiuying left the company with her head full of confusion. Sister Zhao, why is she still hesitating? She'll be paid more than 5,000 yuan a month. She doesn't have to do anything. Why isn't she signing the contract? Shut your mouth. If it were me, I would also think about it carefully. How can a pie fall from the sky into your hands? How can there be such a good thing? But it just happened. The point is that even the big sister herself doesn't know what's going on. After leaving Kata Group, Zhang Xiuying looked back and decided to tell her husband about this matter tonight. This was a good thing, very good. But why did it happen to her? In the small courtyard, Wang Yao brewed 2 decoctions and took them to Su Xiaoxue's house. When he arrived, Su Xiaoxue's grandfather was also there. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, old chief. He followed the others and addressed Su Xiaoxue's grandfather that way. Don't call me old chief. Just call me grandpa or old man. How can that be? Wang Yao laughed. I've brewed 2 decoctions. Let Xiaoxue take them and see how they are. Oh, okay. Su Xiaoxue's mother hurriedly took the decoctions. Over the past 2 days, Su Xiaoxue's family admired Wang Yao more and more because they could see that Su Xiaoxue's condition was getting better. In the past, they had been eager to do this but could not do it. Moreover, the 2 old doctors also spoke highly of Wang Yao. It would be great if we could keep Dr. Wang in Beijing. When the whole family gathered together, more than one person had such thoughts and suggestions. However, this idea was forcefully rejected by the old man in front of them. Xiaoxue's illness still needs to be treated by him. Whether he wants to stay or leave, it's all up to him. All we can do is to cooperate fully with him. This was not only the old man's idea, but also Su Xiaoxue's father's idea. Are you going to leave tomorrow? Yes, I have something to deal with at home. When can you come back? Su Xiaoxue's father asked gently. It depends on the situation. I'll be back as soon as possible, Wang Yao said. Since he had come to Beijing, seen the patient, and started the treatment, he would be responsible for the patient to the end. He would do his best to treat her illness. Okay, let me know if you need anything. Okay. After taking part of the 2 decoctions, Wang Yao was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he stayed by the bed and checked the patient's changes. It's so comfortable. This was what Su Xiaoxue was feeling at the moment. She felt that the burning pain all over her body was rapidly diminishing. It was as if a person was in a raging fire while the sky was raining heavily. The pain was alleviated, and her tense nerves were also relaxed. What was comfortable? After being tired for a day, lying in bed after soaking one's feet was comfortable. After being hungry for a day, eating a full meal was comfortable. The original pain was 10 points, but now the pain was 10 points. This was also comfortable. Unfortunately, She could not speak to express her feelings at the moment. It's working. Her pulse has become a little more stable. After taking the decoction for a while, Wang Yao felt her pulse again. It's this voice again. Who is he? Is he here to treat me? At this time, the old man surnamed Chen also entered the bedroom. Uncle Chen. Yes. Everyone in the room looked at the bed. However, Su Xiaoxue, who was lying on the bed, slowly closed her eyes. This situation frightened her family. Xiaoxue! Her mother exclaimed. Shi! Wang Yao made a gesture of silence. He had been feeling the patient's pulse. He knew it was all right. The patient was going to sleep. She's going to rest. Chen Lao was also very surprised. He hurriedly sat down. Wang Yao smiled and stood up. He let Chen Lao feel the pulse. After a while, Chen Lao gently removed his hand and looked up at Wang Yao. His eyes were full of shock and doubt. The young man in front of him had surprised him too much. He was very familiar with the situation of the patient because he was Su Xiaoxue's attending doctor. The girl was able to survive until now. In addition to her own perseverance, Chen Lao's superb medical skills also played a considerable role. However, his ability was only able to prolong the girl's life. There was no other better way to improve the situation, especially as the situation became more and more serious. This young man used a pill to save her from the brink of death. Then, he used a decoction to greatly enhance her vitality. Now, he used 2 more decoctions to make the patient sleep soundly. What kind of ability was this? Young man, who is your master? Chen Lao asked the question hidden in his heart. Go to the sky. Wang Yao pointed up with a smile. Ha ha! Chen Lao shook his head with a smile. He thought this was an excuse by the young man. He did not know that Wang Yao was telling the truth. The system was a gift from heaven. Since Wang Yao did not want to say, he did not ask more. Xiaoxue is fine. She just fell asleep. Let her sleep for a while. This child hasn't slept well for a long time, right? Okay. Su Xiaoxue's mother was relieved. Give these 2 decoctions to her at night. Okay. Dr. Wang, can you see if you can make a few more decoctions? Su Xiaoxue's mother asked. Let's see the effect first. He wanted to decoct a few more decoctions, but these decoctions all used licorice root. He had almost used up his inventory. As for the price, these decoctions were provided by the system. The price of these decoctions could not be changed by the system. The price of enchantment and regather soup was astonishingly high. When the Su family heard the price, they did not even blink. As for enchantment, the price was according to the price of the decoction. Wang Yao left. The Su family walked him to the door. They did not enter the house until the car was far away. Ruiping, do you still have the decoctions made by Dr. Wang? Chen Lao asked. Yes, I will go and get them for you. Okay. The 2 decoctions were placed on the table. Chen Lao poured out a little of each decoction and tasted them separately. Chapter 192. Corydalus Yanhuso, Dahurian Angelica, Licorice, and what other herbs? Angelica, Poria. Hiss, that's not right. Dr. Chen frowned. He could identify most of the herbs in the 2 decoctions that Wang Yao had prepared. He could not identify the herbs that played a decisive role in the decoction. He could not figure it out. It could not be helped. They were all licorice roots. Although Dr. Chen had been practicing medicine for decades and was known as the Sage of Apricot Woods, he had never seen those herbs. No, he had never even heard of them. On the other side of Jing, Zhang Xiufang was telling her husband what had happened during the day in detail. Hiss, there is such a good thing? Why does it sound so unreliable? Wang Yao's second uncle's husband asked. I went to see the company. It doesn't seem to be fake. Is it the Kuta that is not far from us? Yes. That company is definitely not fake. It has been there since 10 years ago. I have been there. Why don't I quit this job and try it out? Zhang Xiufang asked. But I still think it is strange. They are a good company. Why would they invite you to work there? Her husband was not trying to discourage her. He knew his wife's ability very well. She had no education or skills. She was just kind and honest. But that was not the reason why the company came to visit. Yes, I also think it is strange. You want to lie to me? What do I have to lie to? Hey, can you ask Yao if this has anything to do with him? Zhang Xiufang's husband suddenly thought of this. His eyes lit up. Him? What does this have to do with him? You can ask him. I think he has a good relationship in Jing. Okay, I will ask him. In the small courtyard, Wang Yao received a call from his second aunt. Aunt, what's the matter? What, work? Oh yes, I did call a friend of mine. You can go and have a look, Wang Yao said with a smile. It is really Yao. Zhang Xiuying hung up the phone and said to her husband. He said he asked a friend for help. Well, you did not dote on your nephew for nothing. You can quit your job tomorrow and work at Kuta. It is close to home. Oh, okay. In a research institute in Jing, several laboratory staff were busy working. How is it? Professor, it is an unknown ingredient, and it will take some time for us to analyze it. Unknown? Yes. Chun Lao took out a small part of the 2 decoctions prepared by Wang Yao. He hoped that he could use advanced equipment to analyze the ingredients and determine what the unknown herbs were. Unfortunately, he did not make good progress. In fact, such experiments had been done many times by foreign institutions. They tried to extract the active ingredients in Chinese medicine and abandoned the imprecise extraction method, but most of the time they failed. This was the mystery of the national medical skills that had been passed down for thousands of years. There was the fusion of yin and yang, and the mutual restraint and generation of the 5 elements. Medicine was not just a skill but a kind of Tao. It was the inheritance of culture. There were too many things in it. Actually, it could be figured out with a simple analysis. Early in the morning, the sky in Jing was a little gray. It looked very uncomfortable. This was normal here. Chun Ying sent Wang Yao a plane ticket. Thank you. How much is it? No need, Chen Ying said with a smile. How can I do that? This is a separate matter, Wang Yao said. How can it be reasonable for you to pay for a house call and for you to personally pay for the travel expenses? Okay, then I will have to trouble you to go with me. Okay. Wang Yao called his second aunt. At this time, his second aunt had completed the resignation procedures in the shopping mall and was on the way to report to Kata Group. When she heard that Wang Yao was going to send them a plane ticket, she asked him to wait for her at home. Plane? After receiving the plane ticket, Zhang Xiufang was a little surprised. She had been in Jing for more than 10 years and had never been willing to take a plane. When she went back to Lianshan County, it was always the family that squeezed in the train. Yes. Is my sister going back too? She is going back too. The school is on holiday. Consider it a little relaxation before the college entrance examination. Okay, I will come and pick you up. Okay. Oh, by the way, thank you for the job you found for me. We are family. There is no need to thank me. Have you gone? Not yet. I am going to report today, Zhang Xiufang said. Then I will go with you. Okay. Wang Yao accompanied his second aunt to the so-called Kata Group. Ms. Zhao was very happy to see Zhang Xiuying. She accompanied Zhang Xiuying to complete the employment procedures and told her that she could come back to work after the May Day holiday. Thank you. It is my pleasure. For changing jobs, Zhang Xiufang was very happy. Do you want to have dinner at home tonight? No, I still have some things to do. After sending his second aunt home, Wang Yao returned to the small courtyard. When he arrived, he found a very bright young man waiting for him. He had seen this person before. He was Guo Sairu's younger brother, Guo Jinghe. Hello, Mr. Guo. Chen Ying saw that there was a slight change in his expression and greeted him with a smile. Hi, Sister Ying. How many times have I told you to call me Xiao Guo or Jinghe? Calling me Mr. or Miss sounds like feudal capitalism, Guo Jinghe said with a smile. I don't dare, Chen Ying said. Brother Wang, I am sorry. I have been here for a few days. I only came to visit you now. It is okay. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. To be honest, he did not have much interaction with the young man in front of him and did not want to. Brother Wang, do you have any plans tonight? Yes, I am going to see a patient, Wang Yao said. He was going to leave Jing the next day and visit Su Xiaoxue in the evening. Oh, I originally had an appointment with a few friends. I wanted to introduce them to you. Since you are free, how about next time? Wang Yao just smiled and did not respond. Guo Jinghe chatted with Wang Yao for a while and then left. Sister Chen, you don't seem to like the young man from the Guo family very much. After they left, Wang Yao asked Chen Ying with a smile. In the past few days, many guests had come to the small courtyard. There were old people, such as Guo Sairu's grandfather, and young people, such as Guo Jinghe. Chen Ying's attitude towards them was different. Some were respectful and some were polite. However, it was the first time he had encountered such a slightly nervous and deliberate avoidance. Not at all. He is the young man of a noble family, Chen Ying said with a smile. Wang Yao did not ask any more questions. Since she did not like him, she must have her reasons. That night, no one came to invite him. It was more to his liking to have a quiet meal alone. After dinner, he went to the Su family's house to check on Su Xiaoxue's condition. Her condition was stable and slightly better. This was the result of his diagnosis. Dr. Wang, are you leaving tomorrow morning? Yes. I will have to trouble you with Xiaoxue's illness, Su Xiaoxue's mother said in a very sincere tone. Since I have decided to come and have seen the patient, I will do my best, Wang Yao replied very seriously. Oh, that's good. This sentence made her feel a lot more relieved. Wang Yao stayed by the patient's bed for a while, and found that Su Xiaoxue seemed to be looking at him. Hello, my name is Wang Yao, he said with a smile. Su Xiaoxue blinked her eyes. So, his name is Wang Yao. Calm down and recuperate. Wang Yao's voice was very calm. He did not know that Su Xiaoxue could hear him clearly. Hold the mind and calm the heart and clear the mind, form without effort and do not shake the spirit. Wang Yao softly recited a few lines of the natural classics. What is this? Su Xiaoxue's mother, Song Ruiping, was surprised and puzzled. A paragraph of scripture, Wang Yao said with a smile. He did not know why he suddenly recited the paragraph of scripture. This was a scripture provided by the system. It was very mysterious. He had practiced Neishi with the help of this scripture and opened up several meridians in his body. He also felt sorry for Su Xiaoxue, so he recited a few lines, hoping that she could hear and think about it. I will come again before I leave tomorrow. Thank you. Song Ruiping walked Wang Yao out. She did not go back until Chen Ying drove away. What did he recite just now? She asked her son. It sounds like a Taoist scripture. I will ask Chen Lao. Okay. Chen Lao recited the few lines of scripture he had heard over the phone. Wang Yao's voice was very soft. He did not pay much attention to it, so he only heard a few lines. He did not hear the whole thing. This is the Natural Classics, a Taoist scripture. It talks about the way of nature, which can make people feel at peace, Chen Lao said on the other end of the phone. I did not expect this young man to be so familiar with Taoist scriptures. Could he be the legendary Xian doctor? But his method does not seem like it. That night, the crescent moon was like a hook, and it was a bit late. Wang Yao and Chen Ying came to a somewhat special place, the Great Wall. Yes, it was the Great Wall. It was not in the daytime, but at night. It was a sudden idea. He wanted to go there to have a look, so he came. This place gives people a comfortable feeling. The Great Wall stretched for thousands of miles, crossing the east and the west. It was made of bricks and stones. What a great power it was! How many bones were buried under it? Under the moonlight, Wang Yao felt something in his heart. His body moved, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. His palms and fists intertwined. Chen Ying saw this and retreated far away. She heard the sound of the wind. It was the sound of the wind between the fists and the palms. Bang! Suddenly, there was an explosion, as if a cannon had been fired. This is... Chen Ying was stunned. It was as if she had seen a ghost. Wang Yao's eyes lit up. His body trembled. Another meridian was unblocked. This was an unexpected surprise. The punch just now also came from the boxing manual that Zhou Xiong had given him. It was simple. One punch could break the air, so it was called the space-splitting fist. After he stopped practicing, he stood there for a long time before he turned to look at Zhou Ying. Chapter 193. Why are you standing so far away from me? Wang Yao said. I don't want to disturb you. Chen Ying smiled. The way she looked at Wang Yao was completely different from before. Thank you, Wang Yao said. I admire you. Chen Ying said without any reason after he walked in. Admire? What do you mean? Wang Yao asked with a smile. It was already surprising that Chen Ying had such extraordinary medical skills at such a young age. However, he also had such profound attainments in martial arts. This was simply incredible. Chen Ying was not an ordinary person. The punch she threw earlier had the aura of a master. At such a young age and with such cultivation, it was impossible for her to reach such a level even if she had been practicing martial arts since she was in her mother's womb. God's gift. She thought of this word, which was used by Wang Yao. Apart from this, she could not find any other reasonable explanation. Extraordinary medical skills and superb martial arts. I admire you. Chen Ying praised sincerely. Wang Yao just smiled after hearing that. They stayed on the Great Wall for a long time. When they returned to the small courtyard, it was already past 11 o'clock at night. Good night. Good night. The next morning, Wang Yao got up very early. When he got up, Chen Ying had already gotten up and was preparing breakfast for him. Wang Yao practiced martial arts in the courtyard. The night before, when he was climbing the Great Wall under the moon, he had some insights and made some progress in martial arts. Today's martial arts seemed to be different from yesterday's. It had only been one day. After finishing his martial arts and having breakfast, he went to Su Xiaoshue's home. Song Ruiping had been waiting for him. Last night, after I fed her the 2 decoctions, she slept for a while. Well, the purpose of the 2 decoctions was to let her have a good rest, Wang Yao said. When he entered Su Xiaoshue's room, he found that she was looking at him. Hello, I'm here. He smiled and greeted her. You're here. Please sit down. Su Xiaoshue said in her heart. Unfortunately, she could not make any sound. Wang Yao seemed to have heard his thoughts. He sat in front of the bed and reached out to check his pulse. Judging from her pulse, Su Xiaoshue's condition had improved to a certain extent after a night's rest and the synergistic effect of several decoctions. However, this so-called improvement was very limited. If an old house that had been in disrepair for many years wanted to continue standing in the wind and rain, the only way was to rebuild it. Her condition is still stable. There won't be any problems in the short term, Wang Yao said to his mother after the examination. That's good. Recuperate well. Okay. Su Xiaoshue blinked after hearing Wang Yao's words. Wang Yao smiled, then got up and left. Dr. Wang, please wait a moment. Song Ruiping followed him out. I heard that Dr. Wang is leaving today. I want to thank you for treating Xiaoshue these past few days. These are some gifts to show my respect. I hope you can accept them. Song Ruiping had already prepared some gifts for Wang Yao. She did not know what he liked. she asked Chen Buiyuan indirectly. Only then did she vaguely know that the young man in front of her had no other hobbies except tea and antiques related to medicine. Therefore, she prepared several boxes of famous tea as gifts for Wang Yao. Wang Yao hesitated for a while. Thank you. Then, Chen Ying walked him back to the small courtyard to pack. When she was about to leave, Guosairu came again with several gifts in her hands. I know you like tea. I asked my grandfather for some for you. Thank you. Wang Yao smiled and took the boxes of tea. These boxes of tea were estimated to be enough for him to drink for a while. By the way, this is also for you. Guosairu handed him a package. What is it? Wang Yao took it and opened it. It was an ancient book. He flipped through 2 pages and was overjoyed. Thank you. I knew you would like it. It turned out that the book Guosairu gave him was an ancient medical book. To be precise, it was the notes and experience of an ancient Chinese doctor. This was somewhat similar to Wang Yao's notes. In addition, Wang Yao knew the author. He was a famous doctor in Jiangsu and Zhejiang during the late Qing dynasty. When will you come back to Beijing after this trip? Let's see how it goes. It shouldn't take long for him to return. I'll drive you to the airport. Thank you. Wang Yao wanted to buy some specialties from Jing City, so he came to the city. He wanted to bring the famous roast duck back home for his family to try. Later, he found out that Guosairu had already prepared it for him. He had to admit that Guosairu was quite thoughtful. Wang Yao went to pick up his second aunt's family. This was the first time he had seen his cousin since he came to Beijing. She was very tall, very thin, and had long hair. As for her appearance, he really did not know how to comment. Guosairu drove them to the airport. After seeing them into the departure lounge, she left. Yao, is that your friend? Wang Yao asked. Zhang Xiufang asked curiously. The first impression Guosairu gave people was very deep. After all, she was too beautiful. Yes. She's so beautiful. Wang Yao smiled after hearing that. Before boarding the plane, he called Wang Mingbao in Lianshan County and asked him to pick them up at the airport in Hai. After all, the 4 of them had a lot of things. It was not convenient to take the bus. Wang Mingbao did not say anything. The plane took off and flew into the sky. Wang Yao sat by the window and looked down at the city buildings that were getting smaller and smaller. His first trip to Beijing ended just like that. It was temporary. There was no trouble. I don't know if the next trip will be as smooth as this one. Chen Ying booked first-class seats for them. Not many people were going to hike from Beijing. Less than half of the first-class seats were taken. His second aunt asked his daughter some questions from time to time. His cousin was a little spoiled. She had not suffered much since she was young. Yao, are you still coming to Beijing? Ah, yes. When? After May 1st. We'll talk about the specific time. After less than 2 hours of flight, the plane landed at the newly built airport in Hai. Wang Mingbao had been waiting at the exit. You're finally back. This was the first sentence he said when he saw Wang Yao. Wang Yao did not rush to ask about Yuanda. Instead, he introduced his second aunt and her family to him. After getting into the car, Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao chatted. You don't know. I really admire that Chairman Wei. You were not in Lianshan County for a few days. He came to my place twice a day and asked when you were coming back. Why didn't he call me directly? Wang Yao asked with a smile. He probably didn't want to make you unhappy, Wang Mingbao said. Then you can reply to him later and tell him I'm back. Okay. Where are we going? Li Family Ditch. The car sped along the road. How was your trip to Beijing? I had some gains, Wang Yao said after thinking for a moment. Did you encounter any trouble? Not bad. That's good. Wang Mingbao smiled. I'll go there again after a while. Again? Yes. I didn't finish my business this time. I have to go there again. Didn't you say you didn't want to go to Beijing? I have to finish what I started, Wang Yao said. About an hour later, they arrived at the hometown of Wang Yao's second aunt. Yao, do you want to stay for dinner? No. You can rest first. I'm going home. Call me if you need anything. Okay. About half an hour later, Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao returned to the mountain village. Wang Yao went home. His mother happened to be cooking lunch at home. You're back. After seeing Wang Yao come back, Zhang Xiuying hurriedly put down her work and went up to him. How was it? Did everything go well? It was fine. Where's Dad? He's still on the hill. Zhang Xiuying said. He's been addicted to staying on the hill for the past 2 days. He didn't even want to come down for dinner. He said it was comfortable on the hill. Wang Yao smiled. He knew it was probably the spirit-gathering battle array. It was indeed more comfortable to stay on the hill than other places. His breathing was smoother, his mood was better, and he could sleep better at night. Wash your face first and have a rest. Dinner will be ready soon. Okay. By the way, my second aunt and her family are also back. They're back? Where did they go? Li family ditch? Yes. After a while, Zhang Xiuying prepared a few dishes. Wang Yao also opened a bag of finished roast duck and put it on the plate. What's this? Roast duck from Beijing. I brought it back to try it. Dinner was served, but his father still hadn't come back. Let's not wait for him. Let's eat first. Let's wait for a while. After waiting for a few more minutes, Wang Fenghua slowly walked into the house with a cigarette in his mouth. He seemed to be in a good mood. Dad. You're back. Did everything go well? It's fine. The patient has been cured. No. His life is saved for the time being. After a while, I have to go to Beijing. You're going again? Zhang Xiuying was shocked. Yes. The illness hasn't been cured. I have to continue the treatment. Let's eat first. Wang Yao poured a glass of wine for his father. The family happily had lunch together. After lunch, Wang Yao went out to Nanshan Hill. From afar, Nanshan Hill appeared in front of him. The trees on the hill were lush. Woof, woof, woof. A dog rushed down from the hill and happily came to Wang Yao's side. It circled around him, barking and wagging its tail. Sanxian, is everything okay on the hill? Woof, woof, caw. There was a cry in the sky. A goshawk swooped down and circled a few times above Wang Yao's head. It seemed to be welcoming him back. Hello, Xia. Caw. On Nanshan Hill, the trees and herbs were growing very well. It was lush. Phew, it's still more comfortable to be on the hill. Wang Yao didn't rush into the cottage. Instead, he slowly walked around Nanshan Hill a few times. He carefully looked at the licorice root. After confirming that there was no problem, he went back to the cottage and made a cup of tea. He then took out the natural classics and started to read. Outside the cottage, the mountain breeze was gentle. The dog was lying under the window, quietly listening to the chanting in the cottage. Its eyes were shining. Chapter 194. He read a volume of scriptures to wash away the dust he had brought back from Beijing. Wang Yao calmed down and carefully sorted out Su Xiaoshue's condition. Unknowingly, the sun was setting in the west and hanging on the top of the mountain. When he went down the mountain, he found that his aunt and her family were also at home. His sister had also come back. His aunt and her family had a full schedule this time. They went to all their relatives' houses. Their main purpose was to see their mother-in-law, who was seriously ill. After dinner, they drove to Wang Yao's grandmother's house and stayed there for the night. Wang Yao's mother also went back with them. After dinner, Wang Yao received a call from Tong Wei. She had also come back and asked to meet him the next day. Who is it? Tong Wei? His mother's ears were very sharp. Yes, she's back. She asked me to meet her tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Okay, hurry up then. Originally, Wang Yao had planned to go to Dao to pick her up. However, because of the trip to Beijing, this matter was delayed. He had already told Tong Wei in advance. Tong Wei? Is she Yao's girlfriend? His second aunt asked after hearing that. Yes, I have her photo here. Speaking of this, the two sisters looked at Tong Wei's photo. Ah, she is so beautiful. Zhang Xiufang praised after looking at it. I have seen her. Not only is she beautiful, but she is also polite. Wang Yao rubbed his forehead. He felt that his marriage was about to be decided by his mother. After the family finished dinner, it was almost 8 p.m. His aunt drove to his grandmother's house again. Wang Yao also drove to his grandmother's house. After arriving there, he sat for a while and then drove back. After parking the car, he went back to Nanshan Hill. The night here is still the best. Wang Yao sat outside the cottage and looked at the high sky. Although the night in Beijing was bustling and attractive, the starry sky was a bit hazy. It was a sign that the air was not good. It was not like the night here, which made people feel a lot more relaxed. He stayed outside for a while before returning to his room to rest. The next day, at the first glimmer of dawn, he got up and went to the top of the mountain. His heart moved at will, tossing and turning. Amidst the commotion, there was a faint sound of wind breaking. In the distant horizon, the sun suddenly jumped out from the edge of the white sky, radiating light in all directions and illuminating the earth. On the mountain rock, Wang Yao's entire body was plated with a layer of gold. After finishing a round of boxing, Wang Yao went down the mountain and tidied up the herbal field. San Xian, I'm going down the mountain. Take care of this place. Woof woof woof. Wang Yao moved a few mountain rocks. The medicinal field was surrounded by dense forest, and there was no way in or out. After going down the mountain, he went home to have something to eat. After informing Wang Fenghua, he drove to Lianshan County. He bought some things at the supermarket and then went to Tong Wei's home. This time, he had not seen her for a few days. Tong Wei was still beautiful, but she looked thinner and slightly tired. This time, her parents' attitude toward Wang Yao was obviously much better. They were smiling, poured water, and washed fruits. Tong Wei's mother also looked much better than the last time he came. This was obviously the effect of the decoction Wang Yao gave her. Look at you. Are you tired from work? Wang Yao asked with concern. Yes, the company has been quite busy recently, Tong Wei said with a smile. Her voice was slightly hoarse. Work is important, but your health is more important. Don't tire yourself out because of work. I won't. It's just a short period of time. I'll be fine after work. After staying at Tong Wei's home for a while, the two of them went out for a walk. Lianshan County was only a small mountain town. In fact, there were not many places to go. If they were in Beijing, there would be many places to go. There were many parks and even more places suitable for couples to go. Where are we going? Well, I haven't thought about it yet. Then think about it. Wang Yao drove slowly on the road. One of the more famous scenic spots in Lianshan County was Julian Mountain. However, it was the May Day holiday now. There would be a lot of people going there. Wang Yao liked to go to places that were too crowded. Why don't we go watch a movie? Okay. Wang Yao replied. The movie in the cinema happened to be showing a foreign romance movie. At this time, most of the people there were young couples. The two of them found a corner and sat down, watching the movie and chatting. Have you settled the things in Beijing? No, I still have to go to Beijing in a few days, Wang Yao said softly. I may also have to go out in a few days, Tong Wei said as she looked at the big screen in the distance. Go out? Where to? France. France? Why do you have to go there? My company's headquarters is in France. We regularly arrange domestic staff to go for training. This time, I'm on the training list. How long will you be there? About a month. Do you want to go? Yes, I want to go and have a look. Tong Wei turned her head and looked at Wang Yao said. Okay, let's go and have a look. The two of them whispered in a low voice and watched the movie, just like the other couples nearby. Time passed by slowly. At noon, they had lunch at a restaurant near the cinema. Where are we going in the afternoon? Let's walk around. Wang Yao drove along the newly repaired Riverside Road. Then, he drove directly to a place further away. In fact, there was nothing to see on the road. Hey, there's a strawberry garden there. Let's go and have a look. Tong Wei suddenly stretched out her hand and pointed at a sign by the road. Okay. Wang Yao drove into the garden. The road was quite spacious. There were many people in the strawberry garden. In today's society, every holiday, as long as one could think of a fun place to have fun, there would definitely be a lot of people. Some people could even be seen in a slightly unique small territory. This was also because people's living standards had improved. People's consumption concept had changed. Traveling had also become a trend. Think about it. What was so good about strawberries? What was so good about them? People came here just for fun and to pass the time. That was all. Tong Wei obviously liked the strawberries. She happily picked the strawberries. She seemed to be enjoying it very much. They stayed in the strawberry garden for more than an hour before going back. Yes, I picked quite a lot. Let's bring them back for Auntie and Uncle to try, Tong Wei said. Okay. In the evening, they had arranged to have dinner at Tong Wei's house. On the way back, Wang Yao received a call. The caller was Wang Mingbao. The person who was looking for him was Wei Hai. It turned out that Mr. Wei was a little suspicious again. He wanted to ask Wang Yao to go over and have a look at him. Okay, I got it. Tell him I'll go over in a while. What's wrong? I have something to do. I need to see a patient. Let me send you home first. Okay, you go ahead first, Tong Wei said with a smile. After sending Tong Wei home, Wang Yao drove to Wei Hai's shop. Sorry, Dr. Wang. After seeing Wang Yao, Wei Hai was very happy. He had been waiting in the shop for a while. Mr. Wei, you look well. Hey, I haven't seen you for a few days. You've changed the way you address me. Just call me by my name. How can I do that? Please come in. I have good Huangshan Maofeng tea. Try it. After entering Wei Hai's tea shop, he brewed a pot of tea for Wang Yao. Looking at his skill, he was very skilled. It was obvious that he had practiced a lot. Not bad, your tea skills are very good. Hey, I don't have much to do. I don't drink, so I don't smoke. I've changed to tea. That's a good thing. Drinking more tea is good for the body. You should drink less alcohol. As for cigarettes, you should avoid smoking if you can. After a while, Wang Mingbao also came over. Well, there's good tea again? Sit down and try it, Wei Hai said. Wang Yao put the tea aside for the time being. He put his hand on the 3-inch entrance of his wrist. My condition is not getting worse. The lesions are shrinking. Do you still have the medicine? I've used it all up. Wei Hai listened. If he had not used it all up, he would not be so anxious. He was afraid that his condition would worsen because he did not take the medicine in time. Well, I'll give you another dose tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Oh, okay. Wei Hai said happily. He wanted Wang Yao to say that. Chapter 195. Why don't we have dinner together tonight? Wei Hai invited Wang Yao. No, I've made an appointment. Another day. Okay. At Tong Wei's house, her mother and daughter were busy in the kitchen. When is Wang Yao coming? He'll be here in a while. He still has something to do, Tong Wei said. Mom, why did you invite him to dinner? To thank him. Tong Wei's mother replied. The decoction he gave me last time was very effective. After I took it, I felt much better. After a while, when I went to the hospital for a checkup, they said that my condition had improved. It must be because of that decoction. Your classmate is really capable. I think Wang Yao is a good young man. Mom, your attitude changed quite quickly, said Tong Wei with a smile. What do you mean? I remember you didn't like him very much when he came last time. Tong Wei was telling the truth. When Wang Yao came to give her the decoction, her parents' attitude towards Wang Yao was indeed not very good. Tong Wei wasn't at home at that time, but she could vaguely guess. After all, she was at home when Wang Yao came for the first time. This time, her mother obviously showed her appreciation and recognition of Wang Yao. When did I say I didn't like him? Didn't I think you were dating him last time? Tong Wei knew it was her mother's excuse. She just smiled and didn't expose it. After leaving Wei Hai's place, Wang Yao found a place to buy some gifts and went to Tong Wei's house. Why did you buy something again when you just bought something in the morning? Tong Wei's mother laughed. Just some fresh fruit. Come in and take a seat. Tong Wei, don't be busy. Come out and talk to Wang Yao. Tong Wei's mother shouted at her daughter who was busy in the kitchen. After a while, a table full of dishes was served. It was very sumptuous. Tong Wei's father even opened a bottle of good wine. Drink? I'm driving. Forget it. Wang Yao refused with a smile. During the meal, Tong Wei's parents were much more talkative than the last time Wang Yao came. They asked Wang Yao some questions. After dinner, they cleared the table and excused themselves to go out for a walk so that Wang Yao and Tong Wei could have some privacy. Are you busy tomorrow? Yes, my second aunt and her family are back. They're going to visit my grandma tomorrow. I'll go with them. Do you want to go too? No, I'm going out to visit my aunt and the others tomorrow. How about tonight? Come to my house? Wang Yao said. All right. I'll pick you up then. All right. The two of them watched TV, ate fruits, and chatted. Unknowingly, it was already past 9 o'clock in the evening. I'm leaving first. Tell Auntie and Uncle to come back early and rest. Okay, be careful on the road. Give me a call when you get home. Got it. Go back. Wang Yao slowly drove away. Tong Wei stood outside until his car could no longer be seen. Then she turned around and went upstairs. She called her parents and told them that Wang Yao had gone back. She asked them to come back early and rest. After arriving home, Wang Yao parked his car. After informing his parents, he wanted to go back to Nanshan Hill. However, he was stopped by his mother who kept asking him questions. How did it go? When will she come home? Let's go to your grandma's tomorrow. Mom, she's back and has a lot of things to do. She's going to visit her aunt and other relatives tomorrow, Wang Yao said. All right, let's talk about it tomorrow. I still have something to do. I'm going up the hill. After saying that, Wang Yao turned around and went up Nanshan Hill. This child, I haven't finished asking him. After Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill, he prepared to decoct a few more decoctions for Wei Hai. It was still deworming powder with miasma grass as the main ingredient. However, this time, he decided to change it a little. Wei Hai's illness had begun to improve, but the root of it had not been solved. Could not be solved in one go. He wanted to change the amount of the herbs appropriately to see the effect. Whether the poisonous insects in the depths of the internal organs can be exterminated needs to be carefully imagined and observed. Somewhere in Dao City, in a quiet villa, a man was tied to the bed. He was thin and his eyes were red. He gritted his teeth and looked like an evil spirit. There were 3 men beside the bed. One of them was a middle-aged man with a dignified face. He looked at the young man on the bed with a painful expression. Another one was in his 30s. He stood as straight as a javelin without any expression on his face. The last one was in his 70s. He had white hair and a beard. He looked a little tired. Mr. Sun, I'm sorry. I can't help you. Thank you, Mr. Wu, Sun Yunxing said. Okay. The old Mr. Wu sighed. He turned and went downstairs. Mr. Wu, the man with facial paralysis next to him said. His voice was a little hoarse and cold. Do you think Yunxing can't be saved? The old Mr. Wu asked. The young master is blessed by God. He will be fine, the old Mr. Wu said. Don't say these words, the old Mr. Wu said. He is already like this. How can he be blessed by God? I heard that there is a Sanguzi in Sangzhou. He has extraordinary medical skills and is called a miracle doctor. Why don't you ask him to come over and have a look? Also, why don't you go to Beijing? Okay, go and ask about Sanguzi. I will go to Beijing tomorrow. Okay. In the morning, the sky was a little gloomy. On Nanshan Hill, there were bursts of air-piercing sounds, as if something had exploded. Looking in the direction of the sound, it was Wang Yao who was practicing boxing. He was practicing air-piercing boxing, which was recorded in the ancient boxing book Zhou Xiong gave him. The meaning of this boxing was to break the air with one punch. This boxing was indeed fierce and domineering. It contained the power of the whole body in one punch. While Wang Yao was practicing, two people came to the foot of the hill. One was an adult man and the other was a child. They were Zhou Xiong and his son. They went up the hill along the mountain road. Dr. Wang, uncle, come in and have a seat. Wang Yao invited them into the house. The father and son had greeted Wang Yao before they came today. They only came after confirming that he was here. Come, let me take a look at you again. Wang Yao sat down and checked Zhou Wukong's pulse. From the pulse, his arm didn't get better at all. It was just that his body was slightly better. I'll give you a massage again. With a thought, the qi in his body also surged and gathered in his hands. Then, Wang Yao followed the meridians in his arm and massaged him according to the method taught by the system. He either pressed or patted. After a while, Zhou Wukong's skinny arm became red, as if it had been hit by a plank. How do you feel? Some people feel a little pain, Zhou Wukong answered truthfully. Is it very painful? Not very. It's very light. Wang Yao checked Zhou Wukong's pulse again. This time, he used more strength than last time. Come back in a few days, he said to Zhou Xiong. Okay. After the massage, the father and son stayed at Wang Yao's place for a while and chatted. Brother Zhou, do you have time? Wang Yao suddenly asked. Yes, what's the matter? Spar with me, Wang Yao said. He suddenly thought of this matter. Okay. Zhou Xiong agreed without hesitation. He was also a martial artist and liked to compete with others. It was just that for a long time, he had put down this aspect because of his son's illness. However, he still had his kung fu. He would not easily reveal it on normal days. Kung fu was originally meant to kill people, not to perform acrobatic. The two of them came to an open space on the hill. Please. Please. Wang Yao slowly got into a posture. Chen Xiong didn't care so much. He directly punched. The speed was very fast. His punch was like a cannon. He was proficient in Xingyi. His punches were strong and fierce. Moreover, the way he punched was direct. There weren't so many fancy things. Wang Yao met his punch with Tai Chi. He used the technique to dissolve his punch. The two of them went from slow to fast. At first, Zhou Xiong still had some scruples. After all, although Wang Yao was talented and could be called a monster, he had only practiced boxing for a short time. In particular, he didn't have enough experience in actual combat. He was afraid that he would accidentally hurt his opponent. Therefore, he held back. He only used 60% of his ability. However, after a few moves, he was secretly shocked. How did this guy's actual combat ability become so strong? The skills of Tai Chi, coupled with his strength that was several times stronger than ordinary people, and his neishi was flowing like water. Wang Yao's punches and kicks had great power. Even though Zhou Xiong had been practicing martial arts for more than 20 years, he still could barely block Wang Yao's punches and kick. He had to show all his skills because in such a situation, if he continued to hold back, he might lose, and lose badly. Air-splitting fist. The style of Wang Yao's boxing suddenly changed. It changed from gentle wind and drizzle to mountain toppling and earth shattering. A punch rushed out. Zhou Xiong couldn't dodge in time. He had to use both hands to block. Unexpectedly, this punch was too fierce and domineering. He was directly sent flying and then fell on a tree, making the whole tree rustle. "Dad!" Zhou Wukong, who was watching from the side, saw the situation and ran up to him. "How are you? Are you okay?" Wang Yao was also very anxious. He hurriedly went forward to check on him. I'm fine. Zhou Xiong got up and patted the dust on his body. "Amazing!" He moved his numb hands. If he hadn't reacted in time and used his hands and body movement to reduce the power of the punch, his arms might have been broken. "What kind of boxing is this?" "Air-splitting fist. You should know it." "Air-splitting fist? The boxing recorded in the boxing scripture?" Zhou Xiong was surprised. "Yes, why? Don't tell me you haven't practiced it before?" "Of course I've practiced it, but it's not as strong as you." He was very clear about the boxing skills in the boxing scripture and firmly remembered them in his mind. He had indeed practiced most of the moves in the scripture. He was quite familiar with some of them. He also knew one of them, the air-splitting fist, which emphasized the idea and not the form. "This is what I learned from the boxing scripture." Chapter 196. "It seems that I have to review it again," Wang Yao said. Zhou Xiong said after hearing this. A beginner in the fist scripture had actually managed to produce an imposing manner and effect that even he, who had been immersed in the fist scripture for more than 20 years, was unable to do so. This was indeed worthy of deep thought. "Dad, are you okay?" "I'm fine," Zhou Xiong said with a smile as he stood up and stroked his son's head. "I'm sorry," Wang Yao said. He could not take back his punch, and almost hurt Zhou Xiong in front of his son. "I'm really fine. Let's stop here. Go inside and have a rest." "Okay. I'll take a look at you." "There's no need for that." "I'll take a look." Wang Yao's attitude was very firm. He carefully checked Zhou Xiong. "It's nothing serious. Your qi and blood are a little messy. Let me give you a massage." After confirming that Zhou Xiong did not suffer any internal injuries, he was relieved. Then, he used the massage method to help straighten out his qi and blood. He let him rest for a while before he sent the father and son away. Cough, cough, cough. On the way down the hill, Zhou Xiong could not help coughing. "Dad, are you okay?" his son asked worriedly. "I'm fine." Zhou Xiong spat a mouthful of phlegm to the side. The phlegm actually contained blood. Wang Yao's punch was so powerful that he had neutralized most of the force. However, he was still injured. Of course, it was not particularly serious. His lungs were hit and his capillaries were broken. Fortunately, Wang Yao gave him a massage in time. "Is this air-splitting fist really so powerful?" After Zhou Xiong went down the hill, Wang Yao began to decoct the decoction. Insect-dispelling powder to eliminate the poisonous insect. This decoction was for Wei Hai's treatment. Through yesterday's contact and diagnosis, Wang Yao found that his physical condition had improved. However, the poisonous insects were deeper in his internal organs. To continue the treatment, he decided to increase the dosage in hopes that the decoction could reach deeper places. After taking the decoction, massage properly to help the medicine spread. Ancient spring water, multifunctional pot for herbs, and spiritual herbs. Apart from the slightly gloomy weather, all the other conditions were met. Moreover, the decoction was brewed in the spirit-gathering battle array. Sometimes, Wang Yao wondered if there was something different in the decoction, not from the herbs, but from the battle array and the heaven and earth. Inside the small house, the fragrance of herbs filled the air. Just as the decoction was about to be completed, his phone rang. "Why haven't you come down the mountain? Didn't you say you'll go to your grandma's house at noon?" It was his mother who called. "Got it. I'll be right down." Wang Yao put away the decoction and tidied it up. Then, he left the hut, activated the array formation, and went down the mountain. After going down the mountain, he drove his parents to his grandmother's house. There, his second aunt, third aunt, uncle, and their families had already arrived. "Why are you so late?" "I'm sorry, Grandma. I was delayed by something," Wang Yao said. "That's fine." His grandmother was very fond of Wang Yao. "Come in." The whole family was gathered together, talking and laughing. It was especially lively. Wang Yao's aunt's pregnancy was now obvious. Her face was not very good. It was slightly sallow. It seemed that she did not have a good rest. "Yao, let's take a look at your aunt," his uncle said with a smile. "What do you want to see?" "See if it's a boy or a girl." "I don't know how to do that," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Don't listen to your uncle's nonsense. I feel like throwing up everything I eat recently." "I don't have a good appetite," his aunt said. "Let me take a look." This was the first time Wang Yao had seen his family in front of so many relatives. "Take the pulse." A moment later, Wang Yao moved his fingers away. "It's okay. This is a normal reaction during pregnancy. It's not a problem. She just needs to eat a light diet. After a while, she will be fine," Wang Yao explained. In fact, there was another reason he did not say. His aunt was a bit old. She was already 36. At this age, her body had begun to decline. The reaction in all aspects might be stronger. "Do you need to prescribe some medicine?" "No." Wang Yao waved his hand. "The fetus is very healthy. What medicine do you need?" "Okay, it's good that she is fine," Wang Yao's mother said. "Mom, everyone is here. Shall we serve the dishes?" "Yes, serve the dishes." After a while, the dishes were served. The big family sat around a big round table, eating, drinking, and laughing. It was very lively. The time of joyful reunion passed quickly. After dinner, Wang Yao's grandmother asked his aunt, "When are you going back?" "We are leaving tomorrow." "So soon?" "Well, Xiang Hong has to go to work. Lina also has to go to school," Wang Yao's aunt said. "Have you booked the train tickets?" "Yes." When they came to Beijing, they took the same plane as Wang Yao. When they were in Beijing, Wang Yao wanted to book a return ticket for them. However, his uncle did not agree. In the end, he bought a hard sleeper. This matter made Wang Yao angry for a while. He felt sorry for his aunt. "Let me send you off?" Wang Yao said. "No, I have told Lina's uncle to send us off. He happens to have something to do in Wei City. We will take the train from there." "Okay." Wang Yao knew a little about his second uncle's husband. Of course, he had heard about him from his mother. This second uncle's husband cared a lot about his reputation and was a little narrow-minded. It was easy for him to overthink some things. Wang Yao didn't want to embarrass his second uncle, so he didn't insist. During the meal, Wang Ru's family members asked about Wang Yao's girlfriend and Wang Ru's boyfriend. Wang Yao had a clue about Wang Ru's boyfriend, but Wang Ru's beautiful sister was going further and further down the road of being a leftover fighter. She was not ashamed of it, but proud of it. Therefore, her family members tried to persuade her, and she happily agreed. She ate all the delicious dishes. In a villa in Dao, hundreds of miles away. "Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Sang." "Haha, no problem. Speaking of which, your father and I are acquaintances. Let's have a look first." "Please." Sang Guzi was invited by Mr. Sun from Sangzhou to treat his illness. Is this the proof of extreme yang? As the saying goes, once an expert makes a move, one will know whether he is an expert or not. Sang Guzi knew what illness the young man in front of him was suffering from. His white eyebrows furrowed, and then he shook his head. "This illness I can't cure." Mr. Sun sighed after listening. He seemed to have expected such a result. "I heard that your acupuncture technique is superb. Can you perform it to prolong Mr. Sun's life?" The method of using golden needles to prolong one's life is to stimulate the body's potential and prolong one's life. In fact, it is like drinking poison to quench one's thirst. Mr. Sun's situation is like adding oil to a fire. The potential in his body has been squeezed to the limit. If you use golden needles to prolong his life, it is equivalent to killing him, Sanguzi explained. Thank you, Mr. Sun. Mr. Sun waved his hand. Immediately, someone came up with a small box. This is a small token of my appreciation. I hope Mr. Sun will accept it. No, it is not necessary. I have not cured him. I am ashamed to accept it. Mr. Sang waved his hand and firmly refused to accept it. I don't think this child has a short life. This is his destiny. Don't give up so easily. I know, Mr. Sun. Mr. Sun said very politely. Okay. Mr. Sang walked a few steps and stopped. It seemed that he wanted to say something, but he hesitated and did not say it. After he left, the expressionless man who had been standing next to Mr. Sun said, "This Mr. Sang seems to have something to say, but he didn't say it. He said Yunxing does not have a short life." Yes. When you visited Zen Master Miofa last time, didn't he say that there would be a turnaround this month? A turnaround? In the mountains in the southwest. Where is that? These monks and Taoists all like to talk about things. Help me make an appointment with Miofa and add some money to the temple. Okay, I will do it now. The expressionless man turned and left. At home, the man was left alone. He looked at his son who was tied to the bed. At this time, the young man was like a burning firewood. He was about to be burned to ashes. A turnaround? He raised his head and looked outside. Come, bring her in. Yes. A young woman was brought upstairs and into the room. The middle-aged man walked out with a painful expression. Why? In Lianshan County, a well-dressed young man was also asking the same question. However, he was not asking God. He was asking the phone. To be precise, he was asking the person on the phone. Why? We are not suitable. It was an extremely ordinary and straightforward answer. Bang! Yang Ming threw the phone to the side with a ferocious expression. Wang Yao. It must be because of Wang Yao. Achoo! Wang Yao sneezed. Strange feeling. In fact, he had not sneezed for several months. After returning home, Wang Yao was not in a hurry to go to Nanshan Hill. Instead, he was asked to stay at home by his mother to listen to her nagging. Your uncle drank too much and was mumbling again. He said he had found someone to check. Your aunt is pregnant with a daughter. Didn't he already know about this matter? Wang Yao said. He remembered that his mother had mentioned this matter to him a long time ago. At that time, she even said she was going to have an abortion. Yes, it's still not satisfactory. What is satisfactory? It is satisfactory if 7 out of 10 things are satisfactory. No one will try to satisfy their wishes. Wang Yao said with a smile. Don't people always want to do good things? That's enough. It's my uncle who doesn't want to check. You don't have to blindly think about it. If there is nothing else, I will go to Nanshan Hill. Nanshan Hill? Didn't you say you were going to pick Tong Wei up for dinner? Zhang Xiuying was not happy. What time is it now? It's almost 3 o'clock. Hurry up. We have to go to Nanshan Hill. Yes, mother. I'll go now. At this moment, an uninvited guest came to Tong Wei's house. It was a young man in a suit and leather shoes. He was also extraordinarily handsome. Chapter 197. A mother and her daughter were sitting across from him. Auntie, are you feeling better? The young man asked politely. Yes, thanks to the medicine Wang Yao gave me last time, Tong Wei's mother said. Tong Wei's mother said. Although there was a smile on her face, it was as if she was unapproachable. Tong Wei, when did you come back? Why didn't you tell me? Yang Ming's smile was very bright. I came back the day before yesterday, Tong Wei said while rubbing her forehead. She didn't look very good. She didn't like the man in front of her from the very beginning. Are you free tonight? I have an appointment with a few classmates. Why don't you join us? No, I have an appointment with Wang Yao tonight. We'll go to his house for dinner, Tong Wei said. The meaning of this sentence was very clear. How about another day? The comrade sitting across from her was pretending to be confused. He knew that the mother and daughter didn't like him, but he still shamelessly refused to leave. At this moment there was a knock on the door. Someone is here. I'll go open the door. Tong Wei hurriedly stood up. The door creaked open. Wang Yao was standing outside. Why are you so late? Tong Wei pouted when she saw Wang Yao. She even pulled Wang Yao's hand into the house. What's going on? He was stunned by such an intimate reaction from a little woman. When he entered the house, he saw Yang Ming sitting in the living room with a pale face. He immediately understood Tong Wei's somewhat passionate reaction just now. Old classmate? Wang Yao, why are you here? I invited Tong Wei to my house for dinner, Wang Yao said with a smile. Then I won't disturb you. Goodbye, Auntie. Goodbye, Tong Wei. Although there was still a smile on his face, it looked like he was crying. When he walked past Wang Yao could even feel the hatred in his eyes. The hatred of killing one's father and stealing one's wife was irreconcilable. Was this considered stealing one's wife? Hello, Auntie. Yao is here. Take a seat. After seeing Wang Yao, Tong Wei's mother's attitude immediately changed. She had now subconsciously treated Wang Yao as her son-in-law. This was just like the old saying in China, the more a mother-in-law looks at her son-in-law, the more satisfied she is. Tong Wei's face was slightly red as she obediently sat beside Wang Yao. With a beauty by his side, her breath smelled like orchids. At this time, Yang Ming went downstairs angrily. His face was so gloomy that it could drip water. He had been slapped in the face today. Wang Yao. He raised his head and looked upstairs. He gritted his teeth and wished he could rip Wang Yao's tendons and skin him alive. He never thought that this classmate, who was good for nothing except studying, would be able to win Tong Wei's heart. Prescribing medicine? Where did he learn medicine from? After getting into the car rushed out and almost knocked someone down on the side of the road. Are you blind? Don't you look at the road when you're driving? The woman cursed at the Audi A4. What an unlucky day! Yang Ming was so angry that he rolled up the car window. His eyes were fixed in front of him. His mind was still thinking about what happened just now. He did not notice that there was a crossroad in front of him and that the green light was about to turn red. When he realized it, it was already too late. He had successfully run the red light and almost collided with a police car. With a screech, the police car stopped. The window rolled down and the driver stared at the back of the car. F***ck. He's still so arrogant after running the red light. It could be seen that anger could easily make people impulsive and irrational. Therefore, it was important to control one's anger. In fact, Yang Ming's luck was pretty good today. At Tong Wei's house, Wang Yao accompanied Tong Wei's mother and chatted for a while. Let's go. Okay, give me a moment. Tong Wei went into the room and carefully dressed up. She put on some light makeup. As soon as she stepped out of the door, the whole room became much brighter. As the saying goes, a beauty is like a flower. Wang Yao was stunned for a moment. Let's go. Let's go. The two of them went downstairs and got into the car. Tong Wei had already bought some things. You don't have to bring anything to my house. How can that be? The car didn't drive fast on the road. Wang Yao didn't like to see fast cars. When will you go back to Dao? Tomorrow, Tong Wei replied. So soon? Don't you want to stay for a few more days? Why? You don't want me to leave? Tong Wei asked with a smile. I really don't want you to leave. It was a wonderful thing to have such a beauty by his side. Do you want me to work in Lianshan County? Tong Wei asked Wang Yao tentatively. She was still hesitating. She wanted to be with Wang Yao, but she didn't want to go back to Lianshan County. Compared to this simple and unpretentious small town, she preferred a big city like Dao. It's up to you. If you don't want to come back, then don't come back for the time being, Wang Yao said with a smile. With his current ability, although the housing prices in Dao City were expensive, it wasn't a problem for him to buy a house in Dao City. It was just that he didn't like Dao City personally. He liked the small mountain village where he lived and the quiet Nanshan Hill. Then I'll stay in Dao for a while longer, Tong Wei said with a smile. Wang Yao's parents attached great importance to Tong Wei's arrival. They prepared a table full of dishes. Dad, Mom, you didn't even prepare such a grand dinner during Chinese New Year, right? Wang Ru couldn't stand it anymore. It's not the same thing at all. If you can bring back a good son-in-law, I promise you the treatment will be better than this, Zhang Xiuying said. As if. While they were busy at home, the car outside had arrived at the entrance of the alley and stopped. As soon as Tong Wei entered the house, Wang Yao's mother put down the work in her hands and greeted her with a smile. Hello, Auntie. Tong Wei greeted her very obediently. Good, good, good. You don't have to bring gifts. Come in and have a seat. She held Tong Wei's hand and asked her a lot of questions. She directly ignored her son and daughter. When are you getting married? Wang Ru, who was following behind, suddenly asked such a question without any reason. Ah! Wang Yao was stunned. He really hadn't thought about this matter yet. I think Tong Wei is a good girl. Hurry up. What's done can't be undone. Otherwise there will be changes, Wang Ru advised very seriously. Thank you, sister. Wang Yao listened and smiled helplessly. After entering the house, Wang Ru chatted with Tong Wei for a while. Tong Wei insisted on helping in the kitchen. She was forcefully stopped by Wang Ru. When it was close to evening, the family sat together and happily had dinner together. Zhang Xiuying put food in her daughter-in-law's bowl from time to time. She stayed at Wang Yao's house until past 8 p.m. before leaving. My mom is such a warm person. Don't mind her, Wang Yao said in the car. Why would I mind? It's good that she is warm, Tong Wei said. She also knew that this was the approval of Wang Yao's mother for her. Shall I send you to Dao City tomorrow? Okay. Wang Yao drove Tong Wei downstairs. Do you want to go upstairs and have a seat? No, it's already so late. I don't want to disturb Auntie and Uncle. You should rest early. Okay, take care on the way back. Go upstairs. After seeing Tong Wei go upstairs, Wang Yao drove away. After going upstairs, Tong Wei watched Wang Yao drive away through the window before going back to the house to rest. After returning home, he parked his car and went to Nanshan Hill. The night sky of Nanshan Hill was still empty and high. Thousands of miles away, the night sky was a bit hazy. It was so hazy that even the stars couldn't be seen. In the haunted house, Su Xiaoxue, who was wrapped in bandages, was lying quietly on the bed. In the entire spacious room, there was no one except for her. She just lay there quietly. She didn't know how long she had been lying like this. Other than being able to move her eyes, breathe, and think, she was no different from a dead person. Where did Wang Yao go? When will he come back? Recently, she had been thinking about the young man in the blurry image. Will he not come back? An illness like mine can't be cured, right? She suddenly felt a little disappointed, but then she remembered the words that Wang Yao had said to her, as well as the scriptures that sounded a little mysterious. Why can I hear him so clearly? Why can't I hear what other people say? When will he come back? Su Xiaoxue's family members, especially her mother, were also concerned about this issue. It's only been a few days. Why are you so nervous? Didn't Uncle Chen say that Xiaoxue's condition has been very stable for the past 2 days? Stable? How many days can it be stable? What if something happens all of a sudden? Su Xiaoxue's mother asked. That's enough. The middle-aged man waved his hand. You have to change your temper. I'm also worried about Xiaoxue's illness, But we can't push Dr. Wang too much. If it causes him to dislike it, what if he doesn't come to Beijing? Yes, I know. Ask Boyuan to go tomorrow. Okay. Early in the morning, the wind was gentle. It was already May. The power of the sun was gradually showing. The weather was a little hot in the morning. At around 10 a.m., Tian Yuantu came to Nanshan Hill. He hadn't been there for a while. Wow, your mountain is getting more and more attractive. If you like it, you can come a few more times. It's not far from Lianshan anyway. Secretary Yang called me yesterday and asked me when you're free to visit his mother. Tomorrow. Wang Yao thought for a moment and said, Okay, I'll talk to him. You should put a set of stone stools and chairs here. Tian Yuantu pointed outside the cottage. It's rare to have a cup of tea outside in such weather. Tian Yuantu stayed there for a while. Wang Yao went down the hill with him. He had to go to Lianshan County in the morning and drive Tong Wei to Dao in the afternoon. He also had to send Wei Hai's medicine to him. Is he getting better? Much better. When will you go to Beijing again? In 2 days. Chapter 198. The two of them chatted while walking. After going down the hill, they took separate cars to Lianshan County. After a short while, they arrived at Lianshan County. When Wang Yao arrived, Wei Hai was lying on a bamboo chair and drinking tea leisurely. The tea was very fragrant. Wow, you're enjoying yourself. Hey, why are you here? Come and sit down. Try my freshly brewed Wui rock tea. Wei Hai hurriedly got up and said, Sure, I often come here. The tea was very fragrant and pure. Rock tea had the characteristics of black tea and green tea. It was also warm and good for the stomach. Hey, I suddenly feel that my life now is not bad. Walking around, meeting friends, drinking tea, and chatting. All those complicated things, such as the deception in the business world, have left me. Now that I think about it, my life was so tiring in the past. Wei Hai was quite emotional. What about your business in the past? I'll leave it to my wife and brother. You'll let it all go? Yes, I can't even keep my life. What's the use of those things? The money I've earned is enough for me to squander for the rest of my life. Moreover, the shares are in my hands. What's there to be afraid of? It's good that you've thought it through. Come, I've brought you the medicine. Wang Yao took out the deworming powder that he had prepared. Thank you. As soon as he saw the medicine, Wei Hai's eyes lit up as if he had seen hope. I've made a slight change to the medicine. I've increased the dosage. It may be a little painful to take, Wang Yao reminded him. No problem. I can bear it. Wei Hai waved his hand. Then, shall we start? Now. Yes, after taking the medicine, I'll speed up the diffusion of the medicine, Wang Yao said. Okay. Wei Hai hurriedly poured a small cup of tea. Without any hesitation, he raised his head and drank it. Lie down. Ah! Wei Hai was stunned, but he still found a place to lie down. Wang Yao stretched out his right hand. Starting from when he swallowed the pill, he massaged along the meridians on the front of his torso to dredge the meridians, stimulate the blood circulation, and accelerate the absorption and diffusion of the medicine. Pressing, pushing, rubbing, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes light, sometimes heavy. After a short while, Wei Hai could feel his stomach heating up. Then this heat began to spread, mainly to the right side of his abdomen. This was Wang Yao's method of selectively absorbing and diffusing the medicinal power through the external CUI gene. Get up, sit up straight. Wei Hai hurriedly sat up straight. Wang Yao massaged the meridians on his back a few more times. Huh! Wei Hai's body suddenly trembled, and his face turned ugly. He felt a sharp pain in his abdomen, as if he was being pricked by needles. What happened? It hurts. Wei Hai gritted his teeth. In just a moment, beads of sweat appeared. Where? Here. Wei Hai reached out to touch the right side of his ribs. Bear with it. Wang Yao sat down and checked his pulse. I can't take it anymore. Wei Hai got up and rushed to the bathroom. He vomited as soon as he opened his mouth. He vomited everything he had eaten in the morning, followed by acid water. Finally, he vomited blood. Some of the blood was black, some was sticky and had a fishy smell. If one took a closer look, there were tiny worms and even smaller worm eggs in the viscous blood. Drink some water and rinse your mouth. Wang Yao brought him a cup of warm water. Thank you. After vomiting for a while, Wei Hai's body became weak and was covered in sweat. The medicine is a bit too strong. You can consider reducing the dosage when you take the medicine next time. Wei Hai didn't have much strength to speak. After coming out of the bathroom, he lay on the recliner with a pale face. Drink some of this. Wang Yao took out a white porcelain bottle with decoction in it. This decoction was not regather soup. It was a decoction made with wild ginseng, sealwort, angelica, glossy ganoderma, and other precious herbs. Although it was not as effective as regather soup, it was still a good decoction for consolidating corporeity. Wei Hai took it and took a small sip. He felt a warm current flow into his stomach. After a while, it spread throughout his body. Then, he felt that the pain in his body had lessened a lot. He also felt that he had gained some strength. Phew! He let out a long sigh of relief. Thank you. He was very sincere. You can drink more of this. Wei Hai picked it up and took a big gulp after hearing that. Use the two decoctions together. This disease can't be rushed. Okay. After a while, Wang Yao checked Wei Hai's pulse again. After confirming that there was no problem with him, he was ready to leave. Have a good rest at noon and eat something light. I have something to do. I have to go. Let's have lunch together. No, I have an appointment with someone. Don't be in a hurry to exercise. Take a rest. After leaving Wei Hai's place, Wang Yao went directly to Tong Wei's home. The two of them went out to buy some things and found a restaurant to have lunch. During lunch, Tong Wei sat by the window and looked out at the narrow street in a daze. What are you thinking about? Nothing. Tong Wei turned her head and smiled. She was just thinking about when she would come back after going to Dao City. If she went abroad, would there be any changes? She was also thinking about her old classmate in front of her, the man she loved. When a woman was in love, not only would she become stupid, but she would also think a lot of things. After lunch, they went home to pack up. It was already past 2 p.m. Let's go. Okay. Wang Yao drove the car. It would take at least 3.5 hours to drive from Lianshan County to Dao City. Wang Yao drove slower, so it might take nearly 4 hours. They arrived in Hike first and got on the highway. Because it was the May Day holiday, there were many cars on the road. Wang Yao drove slowly. Stay in Dao City for 2 more days. I'll show you around, Tong Wei said. Okay. Before leaving, Wang Yao's mother had told him to hide in Dao City for 2 more days to accompany Tong Wei and not to rush back. After returning from Jing City, Wang Yao had actually become a lot busier. He spent more time outside and less time on Nanshan Hill than before, which made him a little unaccustomed to it. Your aunt and her family have returned to Jing? Yes. When do you plan to go to Jing? In a few days, Wang Yao said. My mother has been praising you these 2 days. Really? What is she praising me for? You're nice, polite, and humble, Tong Wei said with a smile. Haha, Auntie is telling the truth. It's the truth. What did your mother say about me? Time always passed faster when talking, especially when Wang Yao and Tong Wei were having a conversation. It was plain but full of warmth. They arrived in Dao City at about 6:30 p.m. The sky was still bright. Tong Wei was not in a hurry to go back to her rented place. Instead, she found a special restaurant and treated Wang Yao to dinner. The night gradually enveloped Dao City. The city had a special atmosphere when the lights were on. The restaurant was near the sea. Through the window they could see the waves rolling and hear the sound of the waves. They ordered a few dishes and 2 glasses of juice. Tong Wei? While they were waiting for their food, a man in his 30s came to their table and greeted Tong Wei with a smile. "Hello, Mr. Tang." Tong Wei saw the man and immediately stood up with a smile. "This is?" Mr. Tang, who was well dressed, looked at Wang Yao and asked, "My boyfriend. Nice to meet you." Hearing Tong Wei's introduction, Mr. Tang looked at Wang Yao carefully. "Hello." Wang Yao greeted him with a smile. "I won't disturb you then." Mr. Tang left after he finished speaking. Wang Yao stared at Mr. Tang's back and seemed to be thinking about something. "What's wrong?" Tong Wei asked. "Oh, Mr. Tang seems to have some health problems," Wang Yao said. "Problems? What problems?" Tong Wei was surprised. They had just greeted Mr. Tang. When Wang Yao had treated her mother, Mr. Tang had been there. At that time, Wang Yao had even checked her pulse. Mr. Tang could tell that Mr. Tang was sick with just a few words. It was a bit unbelievable. "His body is damaged and he's taking medicine to support it," Wang Yao said. Listening to the sound and smelling the smell, one could know the illness. This was something that the ancestors had known for a long time. However, not many people knew about it, and even fewer people knew how to do it. "Really?" Tong Wei asked with a smile. "Of course it's true," Wang Yao said. There were some things that Wang Yao didn't say. Mr. Tang didn't look old, but his gait was a bit weak. His breath was turbid and he was short of breath. Although his face was shiny, it was supported by external forces. It wasn't because he was healthy. Wang Yao was afraid that it was because his body was drained by alcohol and women. "Who is this Mr. Tang?" "He is the vice president of a well-known advertising company in Dao," Tong Wei said. "Advertising company. He always has a lot of social activities. Of course, he deals with beautiful women all day long. The person who is eating at the same table with him is most likely a beautiful woman," Tong Wei said with a smile. "Is that so?" Wang Yao looked up and vaguely saw Mr. Tang seem to be having dinner with a young woman. "It's true. He used to pursue me," Tong Wei said to Wang Yao with a smile. "Oh, why did you reject him? He looks extraordinarily handsome and seems to be very rich." "You're asking for a beating." Tong Wei pretended to be angry. "He has a bad reputation and likes to flirt outside." After dinner, Wang Yao and Tong Wei left the hotel. Coincidentally, Mr. Tang also came out. Beside him was a tall woman in her 20s. She wore light makeup and was considered pretty. Most importantly, she had a good figure. In terms of figure, she wasn't worse than Tong Wei. "Tong Wei, how are you going back?" Mr. Tang saw Tong Wei and asked. "My boyfriend is driving," Tong Wei said. "Oh, drive safe," Mr. Tang said. After saying that, he grabbed the tall woman's waist and got into a nearby BMW. "Mr. Tang's courage is admirable," Wang Yao said as he watched Mr. Tang drive away. Chapter 199. Wang Yao drove Tong Wei to her rented apartment and stopped in front of the building. "Come up and have a seat." "Sure." Wang Yao followed Tong Wei upstairs. After entering the room, Tong Wei poured him a glass of water and took off her coat. It was already May and the weather was getting hotter. Tong Wei was only wearing a thin shirt, revealing her graceful figure. A single man and a single woman in a room. The man was in love and the woman was in love. Wang Yao felt his heart was beating fast. He recited a few lines of Taoist scriptures to calm it down. "Don't leave tonight. Stay here." When she said this, Tong Wei blushed as if she was drinking wine. She was as beautiful as flowers and wine. Tempting, very tempting. Wang Yao was stunned when he heard that. Stay here? Would it be possible for something else to happen during the night? The night was quiet and beautiful. A door separated the man and the woman. The key was that the door was not locked. It could be opened with a gentle push. Tong Wei lay on the bed and looked at the door. She wore a light purple nightgown. It was very thin, and her fair skin could be vaguely seen. Wang Yao lay on the sofa and turned his head to look at the door from time to time. His heart had never been as uncontrollable as it was tonight. He had recited 3 lines of Taoist scriptures, but his heart still could not be as calm as still water. It was really a difficult choice to make. It was really a restless night. Both of them could not fall asleep that night. The moon rose quietly outside the house and then slowly set. The sun rose as usual, indicating the arrival of a brand new day. Phew! Tong Wei let out a long breath and then sighed again. She looked out of the window. She was a little surprised and a little disappointed. Phew! Wang Yao let out a sigh of relief, and then got up to move his body. Creak! Tong Wei walked out of the house. Morning. Morning. How did you sleep last night? I'm fine, Wang Yao said with a smile. He looked good and was still refreshed. Is a door so difficult to open? Tong Wei looked at Wang Yao with a smile. Wang Yao smiled awkwardly. I'll go make breakfast for you. I'll help too. Ding-ling-dang-lang, a crisp sound rang out. A simple yet nutritious breakfast was served. The two of them sat across from each other, chatting, eating, and discussing their plans for the day. It felt like a young couple living together, plain and warm. After dinner, they set off for a one-day tour of Dao City. There were many fun places in Dao City. Tong Wei had taken Wang Yao to some places last time. They had already seen the main ones. This time, they went to some less popular places that were suitable for young people. A day's time passed quickly. The sun was setting in the west. I have to go back. Can you stay for another night? Tong Wei was reluctant to leave. No thanks. I have an appointment with a friend. I have to go to Hike City tomorrow, Wang Yao said. Tong Wei bought a lot of things for Wang Yao and his family. Let's go back. Wang Yao waved his hand at Tong Wei, who was standing by the roadside. Be careful on the road. Tong Wei didn't go upstairs until Wang Yao's car was out of sight. When she was alone, she suddenly felt that the room, which didn't look very spacious, was a little empty. She sat on the sofa and looked out of the window. Am I really not attractive? I was so close. Wang Yao looked out of the window while driving on the highway, thinking about what happened last night. If it was in the past, he would most likely not be able to resist that kind of temptation. However, after more than half a year of cultivation and experience, he had matured, and his mentality had become more stable and calm. Naturally, his resistance to some temptations was much stronger. Through this period of time together, he felt that the relationship between him and Tong Wei had improved. However, there seemed to be something between them. It was a layer of gauze and a layer of cloth. It was somewhat stretched and couldn't be completely let go. Ring, ring. Someone called him. Brother Tian? Where are you? I'm on the way back from Dao City. Have you seen your girlfriend off? Yes. Are you free tomorrow? Yes, you can talk to Secretary Yang about it. Let's set it for tomorrow. Okay. He had already delayed this matter once. When he arrived home, it was already 8 p.m. Before the car stopped, he received a call from Tong Wei asking if he had arrived home. The two chatted for a while and then hung up. Why are you back so soon? Seeing that her son was back, Zhang Xiuying seemed to be a little unhappy. Stay there and spend more time with Tong Wei. Mom, Tong Wei has to go to work tomorrow. I have something to do too. Okay. Have you eaten? I've eaten at the service area. After sitting at home for a while, Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill. It was still quiet on Nanshan Hill. Wang Yao took a folding stool and sat outside. He looked up at the sky. San Xian was lying quietly beside him. The mountain breeze was gentle. He looked up at the sky and let his imagination run wild. Don't think about it. Go to sleep. Good night, San Xian. Wang Yao went into the house and turned off the lights. San Xian also went back to his kennel. The next day, the clouds and wind were light. Wang Yao woke up early. He went up the hill to practice, take care of the herbal field, and eat a simple meal. Then, he started a fire and boiled the medicine. Extreme yin disease required extreme yang medicine. The herbs were added one by one. A unique medicinal fragrance floated out. The last herb was the licorice root dangyang flower. The flower was like a raging fire and had pure yang medicinal properties. The dangyang flower dissolved in the water and turned the decoction into a fiery red color. It looked like a flowing fire, exuding heat. Secretary Yang's mother had extreme yin disease. It was a typical difficult disease. It had been a while since Wang Yao had treated her. Last time, Wang Yao had made some decoctions. After taking them, the effect should be good. Her disease was similar to Wei Hai's. It required a period of treatment to fundamentally change. At about 9:30 p.m., his decoction was ready. Tian Yuantu also went up the hill. What about the decoction? Well, it's just right. Sit for a while. After Wang Yao packed the decoction, he made a cup of tea for Tian Yuantu. Have you been busy recently? Tian Yuantu asked with a smile. Well, I've been busy, Wang Yao said. First, he went to Jing. Then, because his second aunt and Tong Wei came back, he drove back and forth. He basically didn't have time to rest. He had just sent Tong Wei to Dao City. Then, he had to go to hike with Tian Yuantu. In a few days, he would go to Jing. Zhou Wukong, Wei Hai, Secretary Yang's mother, Zhou Wui, and Su Xiaoxue all needed treatment. During this time, Wang Yao had been too, letting nature take its course. He didn't have much time to plan. Let's go. Okay. Wang Yao didn't drive alone. He sat in Tian Yuantu's car and went to hike together. When he saw Secretary Yang again, he seemed to have lost some weight. After all, he was the leader of a city. He had a lot of things to worry about on a daily basis. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, Secretary Yang. He looked at Secretary Yang's mother again. Her condition was much better. Her face was ruddy and her eyes were brighter. Dr. Wang Yuantu, come and sit. She kindly asked them to sit down. The housekeeper hurriedly served them tea. You look much better, Tian Yuantu said. Yes, since I took the decoction made by Dr. Wang, I feel much better. My body is not so cold, Secretary Yang's mother said. You look much better. Let me take a look. Okay. Her pulse was more stable. It was not as weak as before. After all, she had taken several doses of regather soup and sanyang powder. Well, the cold in your body is much better. I brought another dose. You can continue to take it the same way as before. Wang Yao took out the sanyang powder that he had brewed in the morning and put it on the table. Okay, thank you, Dr. Wang. Secretary Yang asked them to stay for lunch. It was a home-cooked meal. He didn't drink because he had something to do in the afternoon, but he was in a good mood. All these years, his mother's illness had been a thorn in his side. Now that there was hope, how could he not be happy? If possible, he would try his best to repay Dr. Wang. However, he also heard from Tian Yuantu that this young man had a unique personality. He was quiet and had no desires. In Tian Yuantu's words, he was like a modern mountain hermit. Chapter 200. In today's impetuous society, young people like Wang Yao had long disappeared. After dinner, after Secretary Yang's mother gave Wang Yao the medicine, Wang Yao massaged her to help her absorb the medicine. At the same time, Wang Yao's qi and blood were much smoother. It's so comfortable, Secretary Yang's mother exclaimed. I didn't expect Dr. Wang to have such excellent massage skills. Massage is a medical skill, Wang Yao said with a smile. Secretary Yang had work in the afternoon. After dinner, he chatted with Wang Yao for a while. I'm sorry, Dr. Wang. I have something else to do. I can't accompany you. It's okay. We should go. Stay for a while. There's no hurry. Secretary Yang left. Wang Yao and Tian Yuantu stayed for a few minutes before leaving. Come over when you have time. Okay. How is Auntie's illness? Tian Yuantu asked in the car. She's much better than the last time. There's a possibility of recovery if she continues to take medicine, Wang Yao said. But the process will be slow. It's good that there's a possibility of recovery, Tian Yuantu said with a smile. This was good news worth celebrating. At this time, in Dao, about 200 miles away from Hike City, in a high-end hotel, a man was sitting on a soft and comfortable bed, gasping for air. His face was a little pale. At this time, he felt dizzy and had no strength in his body. He even needed to take big gulps of air to breathe. Last night, that young girl made him very excited. In order to show off his masculinity, he overdosed on stimulants, resulting in the current situation. To use a classic saying, "My body is hollowed out. No, I have to go to the hospital." He picked up his phone and called 120. He got up and wanted to change his clothes. His body swayed a few times and suddenly fell to the ground. Blood flowed out of his nostrils. In a foreign company in Dao, there were many white-collar women. Tong Wei, let me tell you a piece of breaking news. What is it? Tong Wei was still thinking about what had happened the day before. Do you remember President Tang? President Tang, the one from the advertising company? Yeah. Of course, I saw him the night before yesterday, Tong Wei said. He's in the hospital now. Rescue? What's wrong with him? Hearing this, Tong Wei was very surprised. When she met Mr. Tang the night before when she had dinner with Wang Yao told her that Mr. Tang was sick. She didn't believe him at that time, but she didn't expect that he was right. Excessive indulgence. Ah! Tong Wei was stunned. Her face turned red. Really? Of course it's true. The people from his company just came. I heard from them that President Tang called 120 for emergency treatment. When the hospital rushed over, he was already on the ground, bleeding from his 7 orifices. When they checked, they found that he had taken several Viagra pills last night. I don't know how many rounds he had fought. Shaoli, why are you so excited? Tong Wei was a little curious about the reaction of her good friend, who usually got along well with her. She was a classic example of gloating. This is retribution for President Tang. Retribution? Yes, you don't know how much of a womanizer he is. Most of the women in his company who are a little bit beautiful have been deceived by him. Some of them even had miscarriages because of him. Really? Tong Wei's expression changed. She had interacted with President Tang a few times and felt that he was humorous. However, she heard that his reputation was not very good, so she deliberately kept a distance from him. She just didn't expect him to be so bad. Of course it's true. Many of the women in his company have decided to celebrate in a private room tonight. By the way, where's my brother-in-law? What brother-in-law? Oh, Lianshan. In the past 2 days, have you guys? Pa, screw you. Don't be shy. We're all adults. The young woman named Shaoli said with a smile. All right, it's work now. Don't talk endlessly. I'll go make a call. Okay. Tong Wei found a relatively quiet place and called Wang Yao. Are you busy? No, I'm not busy. What's up? Wang Yao had just returned to Nanshan Hill and made a cup of tea. Let me ask you something. Do you remember President Tang we met 2 nights ago when we were having dinner? You said he was sick? Yes, what's wrong? Wang Yao said. Can you tell me what's wrong with him? Tong Wei kept him in suspense. He's physically deficient, Wang Yao said. What's the reason? Well, he's addicted to alcohol and women. He's overindulged, Wang Yao said after thinking for a while. Wow, you're so good. Tong Wei was surprised. What's wrong? I just heard from my colleagues that President Tang was sent to the hospital today. He's being treated for overindulgence, Tong Wei said. Really? Wang Yao finally understood why Tong Wei suddenly called him. You're so good, Tong Wei said. Wang Yao just smiled. If it were someone else being praised by a beauty like this, they would probably be very happy. After chatting with Tong Wei for a while, he hung up the phone. He's hospitalized so soon. It seems like he had a lot of trouble last night, Wang Yao said. Holding the teacup, he sat on the chair for a while and then began to make the next plan. The condition of Wei Hai and Secretary Yang's mother is stable for the time being. Zhou Wukong's illness is not life-threatening. Zhou Wui in Sangzhou and Su Xiaoxue in Jing are in critical condition. They're only temporarily delayed by the medicine. They need further treatment. Poisoning could be cured. Blocked meridians could be dredged. Loss of vitality could be made up. But if the meridians were reversed, messed up, and broken, how could they be connected and repaired? How could the internal organs and skin be repaired? With a thought, an ancient book fell into his hand. It was the catalogue of magic herbs, which recorded all kinds of magic herbs. Wang Yao flipped through it page by page. He still had 2 prescriptions that he hadn't used. They were provided by the system. One was blood deblicking powder. It promoted blood circulation, removed blood stasis, and smoothed meridians. The other was muscle revitalization powder. It removed rotting, healed wounds, and stopped pain. The former could be used on Zhou Wukong, Zhou Wui, and Su Xiaoxue. The latter could be used on Su Xiaoxue. However, these 2 prescriptions required at least 4 kinds of magic herbs. Magic herbs needed to be exchanged. I'll start with blood deblicking powder. Ephedra, angelica, Panax notoginseng, white peony polygonum vine, Ziu. Wang Yao just happened to have these herbs. Tomorrow. He raised his head and looked at the setting sun outside. When the sun rose, the vitality of the day was the strongest. When the sun was in the middle of the sky, the yang qi was the strongest. Now that the sun was setting, the yang qi was gradually declining, and the yin qi was strong. It was not suitable to decoct such herbs. After putting away the prepared herbs, Wang Yao thought about Zhou Wui's and Su Xiaoxue's illnesses. He thought and wrote. From time to time, he flipped through the catalogue of magic herbs until the sun had completely set. The light in the room was very dim. He put away the written notes, got up, stretched, and went down the hill. When he went down the hill, he met Wang Fengming, who was busy coming down the hill. He hadn't seen him for a while. Wang Fengming's complexion was much better. Uncle Yao, are you going down the hill for dinner? Yes. How have you been feeling recently? Much better. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Your body has just recovered. Don't be too tired, Wang Yao said. Okay. Wang Fengming nodded. He also wanted to work less, but his family was in debt. He didn't have much ability. What could he do if he didn't work? Come in and have a seat, Wang Fengming said when they arrived at the door. No, I'm waiting for dinner at home. Okay. Wang Fengming entered the house. Looking at the tired back, Wang Yao sighed slightly. This honest and considerate elder had a good character. However, he had a rough life. He was honest and kind. He was filial to his parents, but he was seriously ill. If it hadn't been for Wang Yao, he would have been terminally ill. In order to treat his father's illness, he borrowed a lot of money and was in debt. As the old saying goes, good people are not deceived by God. Is that true? When Wang Yao returned home, his mother had already cooked. His father had poured a glass of wine. The wine was Wuliangye, which was not fake. Chapter 201. Since he had the ability to make friends with rich and powerful people, the cigarettes, wine, and tea at home had never stopped. He only had tea. As for the cigarettes and wine, he naturally had to show filial piety to his grandfather. Yao, I have something to ask you, Zhang Xiufang said after dinner while cleaning up the table. What is it? Go ahead. Your uncle called me this afternoon. He wants you to treat someone. Who? Wang Yao asked. A vice president of his company. His surname is Yuan. I'm not going, Wang Yao refused without hesitation. Have you forgotten what happened with my third uncle? Wang Yao smiled and said, If it's my aunt's family, I can go and see them. But I can't go with those people. Colleagues in the company and friends at the table could not keep their mouths shut. The last time his third uncle brought Mr. Zhang to see a doctor was still fresh in his memory. He did not want to experience the same thing twice. Forget it. Hearing her son's words, Zhang Xiuying was also a little worried. She decided to tell her uncle directly. Wang Fenghua did not say anything. He did not want his son to take on this matter, but it was not appropriate for him to express his opinion. After dinner, before 8 o'clock, Wang Yao was preparing to go up the mountain. Wang Mingbao came to the house. Hey, why are you back? Wang Yao made a pot of tea. I came to see my grandpa and grandma and stayed here for the night. His family's old house was still there. His grandpa and grandma helped to clean up when they were free. Wang Mingbao came back once every 1 or 2 weeks. What's the matter? Wang Yao looked at Wang Mingbao's sullen face and asked. Well, my grandfather arranged a marriage for me, Wang Mingbao said. Is that a good thing? Wang Yao smiled and asked. Good my ass. Wang Mingbao took a sip of tea. I've seen that woman. I don't like her. If you don't like it, do you reject it directly? My dad's comrade. He's probably embarrassed. Wang Mingbao lit a cigarette and took 2 deep puffs. You mentioned this before? I think I've mentioned it before. I guess it only became clear after Uncle mentioned the mayor, right? Wang Yao said with a smile. That girl's father is not an ordinary person, right? I think he's the chief of some bureau. They were well matched in social status. Wang Yao thought of this word. What's her impression of you? It's all right, Wang Mingbao said after thinking for a while. Wang Mingbao was tall and strong, and he looked masculine. This was very popular with some girls. Besides, his family background was good, and he also had his own business. It was estimated that all the girls would like him, unless there was something wrong with their head. Isn't that simple? As long as that girl doesn't like you, it's fine. How can I make her not like me? Wang Mingbao's eyes lit up after hearing that. Do you still need me to teach you this? It stands to reason that you should be more experienced than me. Besides, marriage is a matter of life. You can talk to Uncle directly, Wang Yao said. Matchmaker's words and parents' orders? How many years ago was that? Okay, I'll just chat with you. I feel much better. Let's go. Let's go together. I'll go up the mountain too. The two of them went out of the house together. When they were about to separate, Wang Mingbao stopped and looked up at the dark mountain field. Are you really not afraid of going up the mountain alone? This was not the first time he had asked this question. What's there to be afraid of? In fact, the night scene in the mountain is very beautiful, Wang Yao said. It's beautiful? Wang Mingbao heard that. The starry sky is high and far away. Wang Yao raised his finger and pointed to the sky. The mountain is quiet and the breeze is gentle. Ping pointed to the mountain forest. Which part is not beautiful? Beautiful my ass. Wang Mingbao laughed after hearing that. He really admired his buddy. How could this be considered beautiful? Let's go. Slow down. Wang Mingbao turned into an alley and went back to his old house to rest. Wang Yao walked along the main road in the middle of the village to the south of the mountain village. The hardened cement road was replaced by sand. As he continued to move forward, the mountain road began to curve. Looking back, the mountain village behind him was dotted with lights. He could also hear the voices of almost all the people nearby. Wang Yao's body suddenly sped up. Sand and dust flew up from the ground. The wind whispered in his ear. The winding mountain road was like walking on flat ground. In the dark night, he could see things as if it was daytime. His body was like flying. Even on the way up the mountain, he did not slow down at all. In a moment, he arrived at the cottage on Nanshan Hill. San Xian heard the sound and came out of the kennel early to wait outside. "Hello, San Xian." The light in the cottage was turned on. The dark mountain was a little yellow. The sound of chanting rang out. In the silent night, it drifted far away with the breeze. The next morning, the sky was clear. Wang Yao, who had finished practicing, made a simple breakfast. After eating, he began to decoct the blood deblicking powder. The ancient spring water, multifunctional pot for herbs, firewood, and herbs were all ready. The fire was lit. When the firewood burned, it made a crackling sound. A section of polygonum vine, dark as iron, was very tough. It was put in the water and boiled for a long time. The spring water gurgled and boiled. Wang Yao was not in a hurry. From time to time, he added some firewood and observed the changes of the medicinal soup. As time went by, the polygonum vine began to change. It slowly became soft and its color became lighter. The efficacy was gradually integrated into the medicinal soup. The color of the medicinal soup also changed. It became the color of coffee. He added more firewood to keep the medicinal soup boiling. This polygonum vine is as tough as iron. Therefore, it was added first. It seemed that the fire was almost ready. Wang Yao took the other herbs. Ephedra, angelica, yellow arrow. The herbs were added one by one. Purple rain, a leaf with purple spots like rain. Guiyuan, fusing the efficacy of various herbs into one. The medicinal soup finally turned purplish-red and emitted a unique fragrance. "It's done." He took the medicinal soup away from the fire and put it away after it cooled down. "I'll ask Zhou Xiong and his son to come here in the afternoon." After tidying up, he called Zhou Xiong and asked him to bring Zhou Wukong here in the afternoon. In the afternoon, after lunch, as soon as Wang Yao went up the mountain, Zhou Xiong followed him with his son. "Dr. Wang." "Hello, uncle." "Hello, come in and have a seat." After the father and son went into the house and sat for a while, Wang Yao took out the blood deblicking powder that had just been decocted. He poured a small cup. "Drink it." "Okay." Zhou Wukong took the teacup and drank it. After he drank the medicinal soup, Wang Yao immediately gave him a massage. He started with the torso and focused on the withered left arm. After a while, Zhou Wukong's left arm was bright red. "How do you feel?" "It's a little hot. There seems to be something moving inside," the child said. After hearing that, Wang Yao continued to straighten out the meridians on the child's left arm. After a while, he stopped and checked Zhou Wukong's pulse. Then, he continued to massage him several times. Zhou Xiong stood nervously at the side. He saw that his son's arm was bright red and sweat had appeared on his forehead, but he was powerless. He just rubbed his hands at the side. "Does it hurt?" "A little." Zhou Wukong nodded. "Then take a rest first." Wang Yao stopped. Sometimes pain was a good thing. At least it meant that the child's arm still had feeling and had not completely withered. The treatment took a few hours. The sun was already hanging over the top of the mountain. "Okay, take him back to rest. His arm may hurt a little. Don't use painkillers or cold water." Wang Yao did not give the father and son the decoction. He wanted to see the effect of the decoction in 2 days. "Thank you, Dr. Wang." "Thank you, uncle." Zhou Xiong and his son hurriedly thanked him. "Bring him back in 2 days." "Okay." After Zhou Xiong and his son went down the mountain, Wang Yao recorded the whole treatment process. "Kong, how do you feel?" After going down the mountain, Zhou Xiong was a little worried about his child's situation. "Dad, I feel that my arm has been hot. It seems that something is drilling in it." "Drilling?" "Yes," Zhou Wukong said. "Does it hurt?" "It hurts a little, but I can bear it." "Good boy." Zhou Xiong touched his son's head. I hope it will work. It will work. Wang Yao looked out of the window. The prescription provided by the system included the 3 licorice root. It would be strange if it did not have any effect. At this time, his mobile phone suddenly rang. He picked it up and saw that it was Pan Jun calling. Chapter 202. Have you returned to Lianshan? Yes, Wang Yao replied. A few days ago, before he went to Jing City, he had called Pan Jun and told him that he would be away for a while and would not be able to go to his sister's clinic, Runha Clinic. When are you coming to the clinic? Many patients are looking for you, Pan Jun said. Pan Jun was telling the truth. There were indeed people who went to the clinic to look for Wang Yao. However, there were only 3 to 5 people, which was not a lot. I still have some things to do here. I'm afraid I can't go for a while. I hope you can understand, Wang Yao said. He had some things to sort out. He just had an idea about Zhou Wui and Su Xiaoshue's illness. He needed to think about it carefully. He had been running around for a while, so he needed some time to calm down. He did not want to go out to see patients for a while. Okay, you must come back after a while. Sure. In Jing, thousands of miles away in a villa, a graceful and elegant middle-aged woman was pacing back and forth in the room. She looked a little anxious. Beside her was a middle-aged man standing there quietly. Buyuan, how long has Dr. Wang been away? 5 days. It's been 5 days. Why hasn't he come back? The middle-aged man did not know how to answer. He understood the mother's worries. However, Dr. Wang was not the Su family's doctor or a doctor specially hired by them. It was impossible for him to only have Su Xiaoxue as his patient. Many people wanted to climb up to the Su family's power, but that young man did not seem to care much about it. People like him could only be invited and begged. They could not use force. Give me his phone number, the middle-aged woman said as she stopped walking. Ma, I think it's better to wait a little longer, the middle-aged man said. Wait? How long do we have to wait? We can wait, but can Xiaoxue wait? The middle-aged man had no choice but to give his wife Wang Yao's contact information. On Nanshan Hill, the mountain breeze was gentle. I can try the muscle revitalization powder after the blood debloking powder. Wang Yao was thinking. Before he went to Jing next time, he had to decoct the muscle revitalization powder as much as possible and try it on Su Xiaoxue to see how effective it was. Ring, ring, ring. His phone rang again. He picked it up and took a look. A Beijing number? Hello. Hello, Dr. Wang. I'm Song Ruiping, Su Xiaoshue's mother. A woman's gentle voice came through the phone. Hello, Ms. Song. Dr. Wang, when are you going to come back to Beijing to continue treating Xiaoxue? That will have to wait. I'm preparing some medicine to treat her illness. What's wrong? Is her condition unstable? Wang Yao asked. No, it's still stable, but I'm a little worried, Song Ruiping said. Oh, I'll go to Beijing when I'm ready, Wang Yao said. In the end, Song Ruiping didn't get a satisfactory answer from Wang Yao, but she had no other choice. Sigh. After hanging up the phone, the elegant woman sighed softly. Chen Buyuan, who was next to her, had already guessed Wang Yao's reply. He probably didn't have a specific time. Ma, you don't have to worry too much. After all, Xiaoshue's condition is still stable. Dr. Wang may have gone back to find a way to treat Miss Su's illness. Yes, he did talk about making medicine on the phone, but he didn't say when he would come. Song Ruiping's eyes fell on the middle-aged man as she spoke. Buyuan, why don't you go and have a look? Yes. Chen Buyuan didn't say anything else. He immediately agreed and left to prepare to go to Lianshan. Red petrolatum, huangdan powder, licorice, fritillary, dragon bone, everlasting grass, lingshanji, and guiyuan. It used the Jinshi section of Chinese medicinal herbs, as well as 3 types of licorice root. He had used guiyuan many times. In addition to replenishing his vitality, its biggest effect was to integrate the efficacy of various medicines and prevent them from rejecting each other. Other than that, there were 2 other types. Everlasting grass calmed the 5 viscera and made up for loss. Lingshanji dispelled evil and evil spirits, grew muscles and stopped pain. 2 more licorice roots, and they were of medium quality. Licorice roots were also divided into 3 grades. Their efficacy was different, so the exchange price was naturally different. A pack of seeds for these 2 licorice roots cost 50 exchange points. If he were to buy the finished products, the price would be 3 times higher. Wang Yao didn't have that many exchange points at the moment. Looks like I have to use the old method. He looked out of the window. He had planted a lot of ordinary herbs in the herbal field. He could sell them to the medicine shop and convert them into exchange points. Before the sky darkened, he harvested some herbs, processed them, and sent them directly to the medicine shop. Then, he flattened the medicine field and planted some seeds in the open space. These were the seeds he had obtained when he harvested the herbs earlier. After planting them, he could harvest them continuously. This was sustainable development. Wang Yao suddenly noticed a problem. This time, he received more exchange points from selling ordinary herbs to the medicine shop than last time. What's going on? Spirit gathering battle array. After thinking for a while, he thought of the reason. It must be because the spirit gathering array gathered the spirit energy from all directions. Not only did it allow the spirit herbs to grow normally, but it also allowed the ordinary herbs to undergo some kind of qualitative change. The quality of the herbs became better, so the system's evaluation of them should be higher. Therefore, the exchange points that he could obtain correspondingly increased. I'll continue tomorrow. The slanted moon was like a hook hanging on the willow branch. Wang Yao went down the hill. He had a guest at home. As soon as he saw his uncle, Wang Yao guessed the purpose of his visit. He was thinking about how to respond later. Yao is back. You guys talk. I'll go help in the kitchen. Wang Yao went to the kitchen. After entering the kitchen, Zhang Xiaoying said, You don't need to do anything here. I've finished cooking. Mom, why did my uncle come? Most likely to ask you to see a doctor, Zhang Xiaoying said. I guess so. After a while, Zhang Xiaoying prepared a few dishes. Wang Fenghua took out some good wine. Would you like to drink? No, I drove here, Wang Yao's uncle said. After the dishes were all ready, Wang Yao's family and his uncle chatted while eating. Has Yao been busy recently? Quite busy, Wang Yao said as he picked up a mouthful of food. What kind of illness do you know how to treat? Well, why do you suddenly ask this, uncle? Wang Yao put down his chopsticks and asked. He was his relative. Why did he have to beat around the bush? Was it not tiring? I want to ask you to treat someone, his uncle said. I've been waiting for you to say this. Just say it directly. Who is it? A vice president of our company. It seems that his liver is not very good, Wang Yao's uncle said. Uncle, if it's someone from my aunt's family, I may have a look. But it's someone from your company. I can't, Wang Yao said directly. Why? Your nephew doesn't even have a medical qualification certificate now. I'm afraid there will be problems, Wang Yao said. It's okay. I have a good relationship with him. He won't say anything. Wang Yao's uncle waved his hand. I don't want to see it. Wang Yao refused directly. He was not afraid that his uncle would be unhappy. This matter involved his relative. That was why he did this. He didn't want things to be more difficult in the future. He will pay. Uncle, it's not a matter of money. I don't want to see it. A few years ago, his uncle was depressed. At that time, he went to Wang Yao's house to drink with his father when he was free. Of course, he scolded the people in his company. Among them, there was a person whose surname was Yuan. He said that person was not a good person. If Wang Yao guessed correctly, the person his uncle was talking about was the same person he scolded a few years ago. Hearing Wang Yao's words, his uncle's face became a little embarrassed. "Let's eat. We'll talk about this later," Zhang Xiufang said. Wang Yao's uncle didn't stay for long after the meal. If it had been in the past, he would have talked to Wang Yao's father a lot. However, Wang Yao's uncle didn't stay for long. "It seems that my uncle is not very happy. You can go to the outpatient clinic. Why can't you treat his leader?" Wang Fenghua was silent for a moment and asked, "You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories."